what up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut. Yeah. Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is up? What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
You gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap. Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB show.
What up? We are in the building. Get your asses ready. It is Merciless Monday, and I'm bringing no mercy on this motherfucker, boy. I tell you right now, YouTube, you better not censor my ass. We about to get busy today. It is Merciless Monday. I'm off a 5-hour energy, some yak and a stick, and a little bit of hustle coffee. We about to get it cracking. This is going to be loaded lineup today. Eric Weddle joins us. It's E-Dub Monday, Super Bowl champ. We're going to talk about our Rams last night, choking it off late. We're going to break that game down. Plus, all things Shedeur, Dion, Colorado, Nebraska. Woo! Can't wait for that one. And Shaun King joins us to break down the QB play that's in the NFL that is as bad as I've ever seen it. Ever. But what do I know? We're going to break that down, too. Wait for some interesting stats I have on that line. Plus, tonight's game, Jets, Niners matchup. Aaron Rodgers returns. We're going to get to that as well. But let's start this bitch off right out the gate. Appreciate everybody joining us. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member today. Woo! Are you Colorado fanboys ready to admit that this is a shit show? Nebraska hired a guy in Matt Rule who builds programs and develops kids. Colorado hired a guy who is a fucking celebrity who wants to be a chief marketing officer who promotes himself and his kids. Let that sink in. Huge difference. And I've been telling y'all, and you can't live with only mercenaries and talk that talk but not walk that walk. The plan is bad. The culture is non-existent. And these coaches seem to be handcuffed by Shedeur Sanders throwing the ball to pad stats because his daddy says so. This isn't a program that shows off his assistant coaches. It isn't a program that develops talent. It is a program that gets talent and expects that talent to carry a program that hasn't won in years. Programs just aren't built this way. But what do I know? This offense is a joke. 10 personnel, 3-by-1, first 5 of 7 snaps, all throws. And I told y'all Tony White would pin his ears back and laugh. With no tight end sets, no legitimate run schemes. And you cannot tell me that Shermer wants to do this. And this is his bread and butter on offense. No, he doesn't. Neither did Sean Lewis. When are y'all going to figure it out? When will you people just admit you were wrong and say that it's a bad look for a place with such tradition? It is a sad day today as I witnessed a program that will struggle for years and years to come after Dion leaves them and has to once again start all over. The offensive line is worse than they were last year. The quarterback throws him under the bus. He walks off the field early in a blowout. The truth is, regardless if he was injured or whatever you want to make excuses for, people, and all the people will make excuses today why Shedeur Sanders walked off the field 2 minutes early. He should have stayed out there, shook hands, and told him and held himself accountable. It's a bad look, and don't act like this is his first episode either. This is a band of mercenaries who are all about self, from the head coach to the QB, and you just can't win this way. Let's dive into it, man. Nebraska dominates Colorado, as I said they would, at home in Lincoln in front of another sellout crowd, and just can't run the football. Can't even try to emulate to run the football. 10 personnel, 3-by-1. Colorado looked atrocious. Had no game plan whatsoever, and you can literally see it as you watch the game. Caleb Williams and the Bears win against the Titans after being down 17-0. One of the first rookie quarterbacks to get a starting victory as a true starting rookie, despite scoring no offensive touchdowns and Caleb throwing for less than 100 yards. Daniel Jones and the Giants get dominated by Sam Darnold and the Vikings. I got one of the two right. Daniel Jones seems to struggle. Tyreek Hill gets arrested outside of Hard Rock Stadium before Dolphins versus Jags, and then goes around and scores an 80-yard touchdown and does the handcuff routine celebration. Rams lose to the Lions in overtime on the late game last night at Ford Field, and Matthew Stafford showed up, and balled out. Nakua got hurt. They're down to 4. First of all, we're going to dive into it. But before we begin, my co-host, Naptown legend and Far East Sider, 317. Far East Side, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark docking, Fox Sports Radio, Big Smitty joins us.
What's going on, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We are alive another week. I mean, what's going on?
Got TikTok violated.
Already?
I didn't even say nothing, dog.
On a Monday?
Monday. They put me on an age restraint. I'm still
okay.
Still a couple hundred people in there.
Okay, we back. We live here on a Monday, man. I'm excited. I see my boy D-Cons in the chat. I see Austin Leach is in here. He's pissed off. I see Kobe Buford's in here. Brian Case, Lucy Lou, and Marcus Russo. Ron, what's going on? It's going to be a hell of a show. A lot of debate, a lot of discussion. It's going to be some love, some hate, and everything in between. Make sure you locked in. You subscribe right now. Hit the like button right now, because we got 1,000 in here on YouTube right now. Hit the like button right now. Don't wait. It's about to be a crazy show, JB. We got 950 on YouTube right now.
Nice. Shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to all you guys showing up, showing out. We got a lot going on today. It's going to be a loaded show, Smitty. I don't know if you're ready. It looks like you're scared already.
I'm not scared at all.
Tomorrow we're in studio.
What that mean?
You're scared again. We're in studio tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be in studio.
JB, somebody told me that you were scared Saturday night when we went live out the blue during the second half of the Colorado game. Somebody told me that we were live for 3 hours.
Let's break down. I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
You didn't say nothing for two to 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. I passed out, knocked out. You saw that. You guys all left on your own accord. Shout out to all you guys you guys were still here deep. I was knocked out in my room. These guys stayed and did the show, and shout out to Smitty and Steve Kim and everybody staying. My boy OG Big Parker, whose son's one of the best players in the country. Battle Rap Wido, I remember that.
Legendary. That was legendary.
I remember that. They said it was a whole vibe, is what everybody's saying. So whatever that means, yeah.
It was a vibe. Like everybody's having a good time, but people were trying to ask you questions, and I would like look at you in your eyes and like say something, and you just didn't respond. Really? It's like you was in a coma, homie. Like you was stuck.
Maybe I played it off. I didn't want to. But let me ask you something. It's crazy, though, that I knocked out, and then I was up, though, at 6, and we did a show with Shaun Salisbury and Jeff Nadu. I don't get affected. Everybody came in the chat was like, no way. How do you not look loaded over Come on, dog. This is what I do. I was born with a fifth of yak. So anyway, let's do this, Smitty. We're going to dive into this thing the right way. But before we begin, listen.
Say it.
What am I going to say?
Say it. Like, say it. Like, whatever that it is, everyone has a it in them. We all got something inside of us. Whatever's on your heart, JB, say that, and let's get this show rolling. JB looks scared, y'all. JB looks scared, y'all. I don't know what it is right now. JB looking nervous. I'm excited. Listen.
I was talking to Bailey.
No. You bragging about getting up on Sunday. I had to drive from your house 3 hours at 2 a.m. to get home. That's what I had to do. You worry about a little show getting up. That ain't nothing. Imagine I almost didn't make it. I was in the Discord asking Lucy Lou to help me out. Jada, nobody in the chat wanted to help me out on the way home. So I said, hey, I'm gonna pull over on the highway. But listen, we here now. It don't matter. I feel good. I feel great. NFL Sunday was crazy. College football Saturday was crazy. And I'm locked in.
Well, today I feel that I need to. There's a little bit of a funeral that needs to happen. Oh, we don't even have it no more. We used to have the funeral song. Remember the funeral song? It's not in there. We got rid of it because it got copyrighted.
We good. Keep going. No, we good.
We had a funeral song. It's not the same without the funeral song, no. So, but listen.
Take your time.
Dear baby Jesus. I don't know what you've done to me. I was very good to you. I told you that I thank you for everything you've done and made my prediction right with Sam Darnold. But why, Lord? Why, Jesus and baby Jesus, did you not help me and all the haters and dick riders and fanboys with Daniel Jones, Lord? I've been trying to stand on business and stay true to my word, Lord, that Daniel Jones was going to have a bounce back year. Now, yes, he got sacked more than anybody in the NFL yesterday. Of course he did. Nobody wants to understand that. Of course we know he still has no O-line, and still nobody's going to talk about that. You'll give Justin Fields a pass, though, but don't worry. It's okay. But listen, Lord, I got to stand on business with Daniel Jones, but listen, I got to also eat crow and admit when I'm wrong, and I always would admit when I'm wrong. He got paid $160 million, which looks like a bargain compared to Deshaun Watson, Lord. But thank you, Lord, for please allowing Sam Darnold to show up and prove me right. But Daniel Jones, you have really sent me a curveball with Daniel Jones and this New York Giants organization. Daniel Jones looks like hammered dog shit, Lord. Why have you done this to me? Why have you sprinkled hammered dog shit upon me, Lord? Lord, I hope and pray that you allow Daniel Jones to figure it out and earn his keep somewhat and not throw the ball to the D lineman, Lord. Why is he throwing the ball to the D lineman, Lord, for a touchdown? Lord, I don't know if you realize, Lord, since you've paid him $160 million, Daniel Jones has thrown more balls to the opponent for touchdowns than his own team. What have you done to me, Lord? I'm trying to save face here in front of this great audience, but God damn, you fucking me. Anyway, Lord, please thank you so much. And baby Jesus, help Daniel Jones and moving on amicably on the realest show on planet Earth. Thank you for Sam Darnold, though, Lord. At least I'm 1 for 2. Amen. Yeah, fuck, man. I don't know.
You all right?
I'm cool. I just wanted to do that because, I don't know. I mean, every time I look up, he throws to a D lineman. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand it, dog. I first of all, you came out in the worst uniforms in the history of football. Why?
Oh, right off the bat. So that's number one. Just off the bat. Bad energy.
Why would you wear those?
It looked horrible.
You look like a bunch of Romans walking in the fucking 1800s. I don't understand it. Number one. Number two, Saquon Barkley had 3 touchdowns for your rival.
And what did the owner and the GM say on Hard Knocks? It said, man, I won't be able to sleep at night if I see Saquon in the Eagles uniform.
I'd fire him.
You should.
I'd fire him. If I was the owner, I'd fire him.
You should. Because the player that you chose over Saquon is the player that we're over here praying about. Because that's how bad he looked. And there's levels to bad. JB will look at a guy like Mahomes who might have an actual decent game and say he played bad because you know the correct position to a T. And you look at it from a different lens that the casual fan will look at it from.
Yeah.
So you think Mahomes is bad,
let's dive right into it. Let's dive right into it.
Let's go.
we got to get our quote of the day and all that in. But I want to
Talk about none of that today.
I want to start the show off with quarterback play, real quick. I got something off the script here that Bailey's put together for us.
Sorry, Bailey, we got to. It's one of them days.
Merciless Monday. Daniel Jones threw for 186 yards.
Damn.
0 touchdowns.
Damn.
Jaden Daniels, 184. 0 touchdowns. Dak Prescott, 179. 1 touchdown, but that's a different type of yardage. Don't worry about that. Geno Smith, 171. 1 touchdown. Deshaun Watson.
Ooh.
We're going to dive into him in a deep way. No pause, no diddy.
Something there.
169, 2 picks. Joe Burrow. We're gonna dive into him individually. 164, no touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, the guy you paid all that money to, 162 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray started off like a banger. Smitty was hyped. Threw for 160. Bryce Young looked bad again. 13 for 30, 161 yards. Justin Fields, 17 of 23, 156. Kirk Cousins looked atrocious. 16 of 26, 155. Justin Herbert, in a winning way, didn't have to throw the ball, so that's another exclusion. Him and Dak Prescott so far, just stay tuned. 144 yards. Bo Nix looked as bad as you could look as a rookie, 138 yards. Will Levis looked even worse in the second year at 127 yards, 2 picks, 2 fumbles. I mean, you can't look worse. Jacoby Brissett couldn't look worse. Jacoby Brissett couldn't have looked worse. 121 yards. And Caleb Williams with the painted nails threw for 93 yards.
In a winning effort.
With no touchdowns on offense and had under 100 yards. That shit is crazy to me. Now, let me dive into Anthony Richardson. He was 9 of 19. He barely hit the 200-yard mark at 212.
How many touchdowns he throw?
2. He had 2 bombs. 2 touchdowns in year. That's exciting.
Woo! He threw for 2, ran for 1, but we'll get to that later.
Again, mediocrity is the new excellence. But if you really are defending, if you're really going to defend this quarterback play, because if you take the 2 bombs away, Anthony Richardson threw for like 40 yards.
That's like saying if you take my good looks away, you can't do it. It's a part of the game. It don't make sense.
But here's the game. So Derek Carr hit 200 yards on exactly. Okay, Derek Carr hit 200 yards, but he was 19 of 23 and didn't have to throw the ball over the park. That's a perfect game for Derek Carr. His best game I've witnessed. 3 touchdowns, 200 yards. They don't need to play no more. Sam Darnold's very similar. 19 of 24, 208. Didn't really need to throw the ball anymore in the blowout over the Giants. Jared Goff did not look very good last night. I'm just going to be honest. C.J. Stroud looked very good. 24 of 32 for 232. Didn't need to throw the ball too much. Minshew had to throw the ball more than they probably wanted to, but he was 25 of 33, a lot of dink and dunks. Devontae Adams saved him on 2 one-handed catches. You got to watch that game. But he threw for 257. Jordan Love got hurt, was 50%, 17 of 34. Did not have his greatest game. Lamar Jackson was 26 of 41, 273 with the 2 broken ad-lib bombs, just like AR. And then Jalen Hurts was 20 of 34, 278. Did not look good. 2 picks, a fumble. Didn't look good. Should have had 2 more pick sixes that they dropped in Green Bay. Baker Mayfield yesterday. Shout out to Baker. I'll eat crow. 4 touchdowns. Led the league. No picks. Was 24 of 30. Very efficient. 289. So I'm going to give him credit where credit's due. Tua did not look good to me. 23 of 37 in the NFL is not very good. He only threw 1 touchdown. God bless the arrested one. Tyreek Hill, if he don't have those 2 big plays, again, though, Tua's going to lead the league in passing yardage, Smitty, because of the offense and those 2 weapons with Waddle and Tyreek just being different as far as speed goes. You can't cover speed. You can't prepare for speed. You can't scheme speed.
That was a great ball, though, too.
Yeah, I mean, I told you he throws the deep ball well. It's not like he doesn't, but also he throws everything else inaccurate as shit. I watched the game. Matthew Stafford was clear-cut the best quarterback over the NFL weekend start.
He missed some, too, though. Stafford missed some, too.
Wasn't close. It wasn't
close. He missed some, too.
Yeah, he missed some with 4 backup O-linemen, Smitty. See,
I don't care. He's a vet. He's a vet. He missed one.
Y'all don't want to talk about it. Here's the thing. He threw an ill-advised pick because I told Smitty he saw him. He got rushed from the backside, and that's something you don't want to see from a quarterback of 36 years old, second oldest starting quarterback in the NFL next to Aaron Rodgers. He 13 34-49. They probably ran through the ball more than they wanted to.
Yep.
But you watch quarterback play, you saw what he does and the balls he throws. And Cooper Kupp, by the way, he should be bitching and moaning about the money that he's getting because he's still elite. I'm going to be honest. That motherfucker is unbelievable after all these injuries. Nakua goes down yesterday.
Yeah.
And it hamstrings Matthew Stafford. By the way, they already were starting 2 backup tackles, and both guys get hurt during the game yesterday. They had to move a guard to tackle, a center to guard, move another guy in. They had 3 guys backing up. They went through 6 O-line rotations yesterday alone. And he still did what he did. Unbelievable. Back at home, he showed up, he showed out, and the Rams clucked that game off, I thought. But you know what, Smitty? What I took away from that, you and I, both our teams lost.
Yep.
You got to be optimistic, though, this early in the game, this early in the season. Both teams played 2 really good teams.
Yep.
Possible AFC, NFC contending teams.
Yep.
And both were right in the game till the end. So shout out to both of those guys. I'm not worried about the Rams. The Rams D-line's much better than everyone probably thought. Their D-line
look really good.
They look good. In Detroit, in that loud environment, I got to be happy for the Rams. And they don't even have their O-line. They don't have their run game ready to go. Nakua, hopefully he's okay. They got to fix a rookie wideout they got in the mix. Jeffrey kid is legit. They got the other kid, Robinson, had some big catches. They'll be all right. But both of those teams, I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing the NFC title game again at the end of the season. So I'm just telling you, those 2 teams are legit. I'm glad that we saw a pretty damn good football game to start the NFL slate off. But the quarterback play, Smitty, is atrocious. Let's dive into that. We got Shaun King joining us in 30 minutes. It's all you and I for a minute. But let's pay the bills. Quote of the day. Brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. The World Series is coming. Baseball is here. October, Mr. October, who's it going to be? Bet it on betonline.ag. Plus, we got NFL started off yesterday. Plus, tonight's Monday night game. You can kick it off with betonline.ag. Plus, college football is here, full effect, and you know that. Bet online where the game starts. All right. Quote of the day, Smitty. We must accept disappointment, but never allow failure.
I like that a lot.
That's the quote of the day.
That's powerful. Your energy, your delivery, the quote within itself.
Where you rank
That's
it?
how you do it. I like that. That's top 7 right there all time.
Smitty has all my rankings, so that's why we know. Last week it was top 3, but let's dive into it. We must accept disappointment, but not ever allow failure. Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over to prizepicks.com. Use the promo code CoachJB. Smitty, this is for Colorado and all your Buff fans. Culture is created and developed, not bought and sold. And that's a joke about Colorado, but to be honest, that's
all college football, really.
That's everybody out there in the world, man. Culture is created at your house, at school, on a football field, in a program, in the NFL, within yourself. Culture is created and developed, not bought and sold. We are in the mercenary business across college football. It's not just Colorado's fault. It's NCAA, Non-Carrying Nationals of America. They created this landscape, and everyone else is just following suit. Poll question, Smitty. Let's dive right into it because it's going to be fire. Should the Cleveland Browns bench Deshaun Watson? This is the poll question of the day, and let's just be real. I'm going to be real with you, and you cannot deny it. For all things considered, roster-wise, wide receiver-wise, offensive line-wise, minus Nick Chubb right now, okay? All things considered, we know Cleveland Browns, in my opinion, have a top 3 roster in the NFL. Would you take him or Daniel Dimes right now? Let's be honest. Be honest. See, I know. Don't make it a race thing either because you're racist. Don't make it a racist thing. I'm taking Daniel Dimes right now over Deshaun Watson. And here's why, though. Give me Daniel Dimes in Cleveland, and everyone's going to say, JB was right about Sam Darnold. Maybe he would be right about Daniel Dimes. Deshaun Watson, I said 3 years ago on this show, and we talked about him having a little wee-wee. No diddy. Listen, He is a mental headache, head case, and understand something. Karma's real. I said it 3 years ago. I'm sticking by it. He has yet to perform in the last 3 seasons, Smitty. And let's be honest. We should add a poll question to a poll question. Is this not the worst contract in North American sports history? Period. Like, let's be real, Smitty. This is the worst contract in North American sports history, and I don't know if you can get out of it. I don't think you can get out of it. And for me, I don't think you can. I have to say no, Smitty. I'm going to answer my own question because I'm going to let you cook. I have to say no because of the money. I would put Jameis Winston in right now. Not number one. I think the team likes him more. Look at this video of his own lineman denying his hand. That motherfucker said, "Get away from me, homie. There's a problem in Cleveland and they don't like this dude. I've been telling y'all for 3 years. How can you go to battle with a guy that you really don't know if he did what he did or not? And if he guy that pleaded out and paid off some people, that has to be a telltale sign that, you know what, dog, there's more to it. I don't know if I can trust this motherfucker. I may have kids, Smitty. I may have girl daughters. I may have a wife. I may not like weirdo motherfuckers. I don't think that team wants to play for him. And I'm going to keep cooking on this topic before you have it to end it. Smitty, why did Joe Flacco ball last year? Oh, wait. Wasn't it the same head coach? Wasn't it the same receivers? Wasn't it the same wideouts? Wasn't it the same defense? Why did Joe Flacco ball? Why did we have other quarterbacks go in there and ball under Stefanski? But now we're blaming Stefanski. How about I tell you the real? How about Stefanski cannot run his offense because Deshaun Watson refuses to run it? Because he can't run it. He can't get under center and play his back to the defense, number one. He cannot execute play-action pass because he's lost. Latrell, you don't know football then, homie, if you think it's a different scheme. No, it's not different. It's Stefanski's scheme. Deshaun Watson don't run it, homie, because he can't. Deshaun Watson is a flawed human being mentally. Hasn't been the same guy in 4 years. And you know what's going on. Mentally, I told you, you'll never see Deshaun Watson from Houston again. And this is what you're seeing. They had the same system, same talent, and the same play caller. So you're telling me, Latrell, that Stefanski changed the whole fucking offense for the quarterback? Come on, homie. You're acting like Deshaun Watson's out here running triple option, bruh. They don't run triple option, homie. They're running the same fucking shit. He just can't fucking execute it. He's horrific mentally, Smitty. You know the mind is stronger than any other thing. If your mind is fucked up because you have some type of skeletons in the closet and you can't release the demon, dog, you're never going to execute on the field. And they paid that man. They paid that man exorbitant amounts of money.
$230 guaranteed, fully.
They'll never get it back. And you're a cap hit of $200 million if they cut him. So that means they're a hard cap. They'll lose $200 million. Let them go. Jameis Winston, as you have said on this show, and you know we both love Jameis Winston's energy, his pizzazz, his free spirit. I bet you the players and the team are advocating for that motherfucker to start right now. I'm just telling you right now. I think they want him in there. And listen, would I do it? Could I do it? Probably not. But that's the question we're leading with, Smitty. Go ahead. I would say no, you can't do it because you can't. But would I? Listen, as a coach, Smitty, you have to sometimes, what I always say, shock treat somebody.
Yep.
They may need a shock treatment in that locker room because if you watch the game yesterday, the defense played as well as you can still play against a Dallas team that's loaded on offense. But the offense was so bad. Like I said it on the Sunday morning show with Shaun Salisbury, don't be surprised if that defense is on the field all game because the offense is so bad that it's going to put that defense in precarious situations. That's what happened yesterday. The Cleveland Browns defense is still loaded. But unlike Colorado against Nebraska, Dallas had an approach and a scheme to handle Myles Garrett. The Cleveland Browns did not have a scheme and approach to handle your boy, Micah Parsons. They did not. They did not have a scheme to attack Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was disruptive the entire game on Deshaun Watson. If you look at Dallas, though, they attacked Myles Garrett. They ran the football at Myles Garrett with old-ass Zeke Elliott even, and it controlled the narrative. You know, as a D lineman, Smitty, now it has them guessing. I don't just pass. Deshaun Watson's in the gun the whole game, Smitty, and they're just back there just fucking like it was horrible.
Similar to Colorado, right?
Yes, and I told you, I get you don't have Nick Chubb, but let's be honest. Ford is a dude.
You say Ford? Yes, Jerome.
Run the ball. Run the ball with him. You fucked me, Cleveland, because I picked Ford on my fantasy yesterday. So anyway, that's why I said that, Smitty. But anyway, Smitty, go ahead. What would you do?
I would bench him, and I get it from a business standpoint. It makes no sense, but like at some point, you got to look at the situation.
Wait. Did you say you would?
I would bench him. I would bench Deshaun Watson because at some point, bro, that money spent. You know what I'm saying? Like that money. Once you signed that fully guaranteed contract, you knew it was a risk. That money spent. We're in what, year 2 or year 3 of his contract. So I don't know which one. Is either year 2 or year 3 of his contract. So you're telling me that you're going to look at your team and your franchise as a head coach, as a GM, owner, whatever, and tell them that we are putting our best foot forward for this team by putting Deshaun Watson out there. At some point, they're going to look at you crazy like, listen, man, you're lying to me. You're lying to my face. So the goal is to go out there and be better and to win. And if your quarterback isn't doing that, you have a guy behind you and James Winston who, listen, we know he's not perfect. He's a guy, he's a part of the 30-30 club, 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. But damn, he can't be too much worse than Deshaun Watson right now. And to your point, to your credit, JB, at least the locker room loves him. He'll galvanize the troops. And to me, that plays a role in how good a team is, all right? It's not just the stats. It's also the energy that quarterback brings around the teammates. You know, I guarantee that with James Winston reaching down to that old lineman, he grab his hand, he lets him up. I guarantee it. So I just think it's like, man.
That's telltale sign, homie.
Telltale sign.
That video right there.
Show your old lineman too, JB?
Your old lineman, homie.
You know, you a quarterback, old line like that. Y'all like this. Like that's everything.
Listen. It's a great segue. I don't know if you're ready to move on, but
let's do it. We good. We good.
But this is why you don't say what Shedeur Sanders said about his O-line.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but we'll get into it later. But Shedeur Sanders came out and said some things. And listen, to Bailey's point, who will be on Matt Show 6-0 later on. Go watch that. It'll be electric. There's more to the story, but you never throw your O-line under the bus. I don't care if you ask the question or not. You never do that. You never throw your O-line under the bus. And this is the thing about it. Shedeur Sanders has a reputation already of saying things and fat-lipping. And that's the crazy part, Smitty. Y'all have been hyping up this O-line in Colorado for how long? For how long have y'all been on this show talking about Phil Lodeholt's great and the O-line so much improved? And I'm the only one that says, no, they're not. They look the same as they did when they came off the field last year. They beat a FCS school by 5 fucking points, fanboys out there. And y'all thought it was Alabama. I came on this show and said Tony White's going to pin his ears back. If you don't run the football in Colorado, even if you can't run the football, you better run the football. And what did they do? Threw the ball in 3-by-1, 10 personnel to start the whole game off, 7 plays in a row. And I'm like, Tony, my boy Tony White's dick was hard over there on the sideline. I told Smitty watching the game, we're watching the game like, you better run the football. So every time Shedeur Sanders speaks, a guy gets a contract extension in the NFL. Let that be a bar to drop. Every time Shedeur Sanders fucking speaks, there's a guy getting an NFL extension, i.e. Dak Prescott. So stop missing me. Stop miss me with the whole he wants to go to Dallas and the Cowboys are going to take Shedeur. No, they're not. They just signed that motherfucker Dak Prescott because that motherfucker Shedeur looks like shit. He talks like shit, and he's not a leader of men. Just straight up, keep it real. Here's the thing, man. You can see the difference. And that's why I told Matt on Friday. I said, I don't expect this to be the same game as last year. Last year was a band of mercenaries who were more talented than Nebraska's team building process that Matt Rule was going through. Matt Rule builds programs. So understand something. Last year we knew Colorado, that's why they won the first 3 or 4 games, because guess what? They had a band of mercenaries. They were more talented. I told y'all this year it's going to be different because these bad teams last year are building a program like a program's supposed to be built. And that's what you saw with Nebraska. There was a collective unit over there, all on one accord and all bought in. On the other side, the leader and the quarterback walked off the fucking football field with 2 minutes left. Then he goes in and talks about his O-line. How he brings up the opposing quarterback, Smitty.
Dylan Raiola. He asked him, he said, how many times did Raiola get touched?
We got a video, don't we? Got a video?
We got a clip, Billy. Show it.
I mean, how many times did Raiola get touched?
You said what?
How many times did Raiola get touched?
Can we just pause it right there? Why? Why are you asking that? I got to be real with you. Why does it matter to you, homie? Are you on defense? What the fuck are we asking ourselves for? Why are you over there asking about the other quarterback?
This is Shedeur's way of basically making an excuse as to why Dylan Raiola had a better game than him or looked better than him going into it. So he's immediately going in saying he's asking that to show you, well, if I got protected the way Dylan Raiola got protected, then I would look good too. And he goes on. I know we're gonna play the rest of the clip here, but he goes on talking about
there was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know. But at times did Raiola get touched?
You said what?
How many times?
Hold on, Smitty. My bad. I'm just pausing it, Bailey. Don't mind me, Bailey. I'm just running it because he said, so basically, if you hear what he just said, now he's calling out the OC once again and telling him, basically, oh, well, we don't run the ball, so we can't really set up the pay.
Well, let me stop you real quick, because when you continue to play it, I think, to me, he's calling out, again, the O-line in the running back room, if you could continue to play it, because
he's not calling the plays, though. They're not calling the plays, though.
Well, yeah, but again, as this clip continues to go, he basically says that, like, we have to lean on our strengths. So go ahead and play it.
Did Raiola get touched? There was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know. But it's just like you got to understand, like, what your team good at. So it's like, why would we keep running the ball if, okay, we out there and we get in a situation where it's a must get and we don't get it?
Right. Are those kind of like 4th and 1 conversions that haven't gone your guys' way in the last couple? Is that kind of play into everybody's mind? Is that kind of something on your mind when thinking about, advancing the ball and whatnot?
Nah, I'd rather, if we're going to go down, I'd rather go down swinging, honestly, because I know I could throw the best punch.
So you see what I'm saying? I feel like, to me, I don't think it was a shot at the offensive coordinator. I almost think he kind of defended the O coordinator, and it was more of a shot at his running back room / O-line, saying that why would we keep trying to run when it's not a strength of ours, when we've shown that we can't run the ball. So that's why we pass the ball so much. It's basically what he was saying. So regardless, though, that's not listen, y'all know me. I support Deion. So that means I support Colorado because of that. I got to call a spade a spade. In that moment, that was poor leadership from Shedeur. In that moment, you don't call out as a quarterback. Even if some of the stuff you're saying is true, you don't say it. You accept all blame. You take all blame in that situation and say, hey, it's on me. I got to be better. I have to play better. I didn't do enough. I'm the leader of the team. I'm supposed to be the Heisman candidate for this team, NFL first-round draft pick. I. It was too much you, them, Dylan Raiola, what are they? It was a lot of finger pointing. And as a leader of a team, as a quarterback, that's just not what you do. Even if what you're saying is true, two things can be true, all right? You don't say that out loud. You keep that internal, because now you're bringing in unnecessary noise. Now this week, maybe your O-lineman is getting interviewed by the press, and they're saying, hey, did you hear your quarterback's comments about X, Y, and Z? What do you feel about that? Now you're creating tension in the locker room with your O-line who's there to protect you at all times. Now they're looking at you sideways, and that just adds more fuel to the fire. So I think it was a bad look in that situation. When you win, We're going to give you praise, and when you lose, you're going to get hate. That is what it is. That's what comes with the territory, especially as an elite quarterback like you are, Shedeur. So I just think he has to be better in that situation.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, man. Then he walks off the field. What's your take on the walking off the field with 2 minutes left?
Yeah, I saw Deion because they asked Deion post-game about it, and Deion's basically answer was that, listen, we wanted to get him back at that point. The game was over. We wanted to get him back to evaluate him, make sure he didn't have no further damage. Obviously it looked like he got hurt on that field. So if that's the case, if the coaches are saying, hey, let's get you the back to check you out, I feel like you do what your coaches say. You do what your training staff says. So that's the only reason why I'm giving him a little bit of a pass in that situation. Anything else, if he's not hurt, if he wasn't injured or hurt or anything like that, and he just leaves the field, there's no excuse. You don't do it. You go down with the troops always. But you guys watch the game, he had got hurt pretty right before that. So I think
I gotta pause it right there. I don't want to hear that hurt shit. Because I don't know any quarterback that's gotten hurt and not sat on the sideline. I've seen guys break their fucking arm and stay on the sideline until the game ends. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm not saying you saying it. I'm just saying.
I've seen both, though.
This excuse about leaving it, unless you are Joe Theismann and snap your leg by Lawrence Taylor, it has to be ambulanced off. I've never seen a quarterback leave early unless it was a very serious life-changing or altering blood clot or some sort of health concern that a quarterback leaves the field, especially with 2 minutes. There's no issue there, Smitty. He's walking off himself. Why wouldn't you stay around and show some humility and shake the hands of the team that beat that ass, who you talk shit about all offseason, and then you walk off and not show you're there for your teammate? Because it is game 2, Smitty. If we're already thinking the season's over, then what the fuck are we doing? You're the leader, aren't you? You're the one driving around Rolls Royces and shit. So I'm trying to figure out why he couldn't stay on there for 2 minutes and act like he's been there, done that. And then for him to leave the field and then go on a press conference and tell everybody that it's the O-line's fault and why we don't run the football because we can't and blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is a bad culture. I'm just keeping it funky. And I'm not telling you that Deion's creating a bad culture. I'm telling you that it's a bad culture for whatever reason. And I don't think you can play this game this way and expect to build and create men in this manner, because it seems heavily favored to 2 kids. His other son just got hurt. Knock on wood, he's okay, but Shiloh broke his arm. We got a lot of issues here, man, and it's all within those 3 kids. It's Hunter, who I look at as an anomaly, okay? I look at this kid and actually feel some sort of way, because I see him walking off the field caring. And then I see his character. When Deion grabs him and talks to him, he says, yes, sir, and listens. Deion leaves, he goes around and takes his helmet off like he's fucking caring about the game. I can see those things. I don't see it with Shedeur. I'm just keeping it funky. The Hunter kid wants to win, and I feel bad for him that he chose to go there and play 140 fucking snaps a game and put his future on the line for a program that has no interest in allowing him to be looking out for his own bag, when on this show, all you guys come on here and talk about looking out for your bag and you're this and you're that. Where's the help for him on this accord? Why aren't we looking out for his future, dog? 140 snaps. He ain't going to play 2 ways in the NFL, guys. And some sort of reasoning, when are we going to say we're wearing this dude down? So you're telling me we can wear down running backs and let's make sure we only give them 10 carries. Oh, really? So we can worry about running backs carrying the ball too much, but not Travis Hunter playing 140 fucking snaps and playing both ways. And then having to cover all day long, Smitty, and then we only throw the ball. We're not like we're running the ball so he can get a break. We're throwing the fucking ball to him all game long. Like, come on, homie. That means he's running 9 routes, Smitty, the entire game. And if you don't know what football is, then you don't understand it. Because he has to cover. So that's a 9 route.
It's like cardio. It's basically doing cardio for 3-4 hours straight. My only argument though is that Travis wants this though. He wants to play both sides. So it's not like Deion is forcing him to go out there because we need. Like Travis is like, no, like I think that was a part of the deal. Like I go with you, but you gonna let me play both sides. The other schools probably weren't gonna let it happen. So I think that was part of the plan. Deion, he go with Deion because he gets to do what he wants. So I hear what you're saying. But that's what the kid wants, and he's still excelling at a high level. It's kind of like, I don't know.
Hey, Smith, I'm not saying he doesn't want it. I get it. But listen, I've had guys want it too. I've had Raheem Boyne wanting 30 carries. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't allow him to have 30 carries because I have 3 other backs all need to get scholarships. In this case, you got a guy that's about to be maybe the first top 5 overall pick, right? Let's just say he's top 5. I would say he's top 5, no doubt. If he's healthy and knock on wood, everything's okay with this kid. You're the grown-up in the room now, Smitty. This isn't the kids running the conversation. This player empowerment thing has to fucking cease at some point. The grown men in the room, Deshaun Sanders needs to say, listen, son, we aren't a good football team. You're going to get hurt. Like, when are we going to talk about this to protect our kids and our babies that he says he does all the time? No, it's not. It's asinine, homie. It's really asinine. I love that the kids out here doing shit we've never seen. Charles Woodson spot played.
Yeah.
He didn't play 140 fucking snaps. Champ Bailey spot played. Devin Hester spot played. Deion spot played. This kid's playing every down on both sides of the ball and then returns kicks.
Like high school.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, homie. This isn't high school. Listen, you don't even do it in high school no more like that. Like, if we're in an era on one side of the fence that you're all going to say, let's get our bag, let's stay healthy, let's not practice, let's put helmet condoms on, let's not have 2-a-days, let's not tackle in practice, let's take Oklahoma drill away, and then we're going to play the guy 140 snaps when he has no rigor because you don't do any of those things I just mentioned? Make it make sense, homie. How do you not practice, not hit, not do these things, and then go out and play 140 snaps? Maybe it's why we don't play preseason games and how shitty the quarterback looks right now. Because I just named 16 guys that threw under 200 yards to start the NFL season. Tell me when you've ever heard of that ever in your life. Never happened. But what do I know? Quarterback play is an all-time low. But nobody will believe me. I'm a hater, blah, blah, blah. You guys got to start fucking paying attention, man. And if you just don't understand it, just say that and step out of the room. It's okay. I got it. I got this. Quarterbacks are fucking atrocious, and it's not their fault because we know they're the most athletic, gifted guys we've ever seen. But it is bad in the quarterback room across football. Smitty, college football quarterbacks, you got a guy that's playing in his 8th year in Cam Rising, who I know personally, can text him right now, love the kid to death. He threw for fucking 90 yards. This is his 8th year. And now we want to take a guy like him and get him in the NFL, and you expect the NFL product as a whole to be better. When we got 25, 26, and 27-year-olds playing in college, and then we got to throw him in the mix as a rookie in the NFL on a bad franchise, i.e. Bryce Young, Mormon Milf Hunter, all these other guys we want to discuss, and you expect it to be a good fucking product. It's impossible. It's a fallacy for you to believe it. Like, you can't expect an 8th-year college guy to go into the NFL on a bad team and start as a rookie, and then you can't expect the number 1 overall pick to miss his last bowl game, not play preseason, and come out and be great on your franchise opener. It don't happen.
But most rookie not to switch titles, but most rookie quarterbacks' first game, they're not good. Like historically. That's why Tom Brady and I agree they shouldn't be playing. Like, let's just be real, dog. They shouldn't be playing. Look at the rookies that started yesterday, how bad they look. Look at them last year. And then let's go back forward one time. Will Levis played half the year last year as a rookie. This should be his rookie year right now as far as playing experience goes, which should be his second year. He should have sat and watched. But guess what? His experience cost him yesterday. Bailey's pissed off they lost because he bet some money and all this, and they dominated the Bears. Guess what he did? Will Levis threw 2 errant
balls that were a lack of experience. But
how do you get experience, JB? Not by just sitting behind.
Smitty, you can't say that, Smitty, because
it's by going into the fire. Peyton Manning threw like 30 picks as a rookie. That was horrible, but he learned from it. Second year, he went 13-3. So I'm just saying, like, for every example you got of guys just sitting back and waiting, there's also examples of guys going out there learning as a rookie and going out there and playing as well. Like it's twofold. It happens both. Lamar Jackson as a rookie, he set the first half of the season behind Flacco, and it took over the second half during his rookie year and looked good. So it's like, I mean, I've seen C.J. Stroud had an amazing year last year. Cam Newton, when he was amazing year. So, like, I'm saying there are examples of both sides. What I'm saying, I didn't think Jaden Daniels looked horrible. Now, again, he's a rookie. He wasn't great, but he wasn't horrible. He was decent. So,
isn't that making my point? Isn't that making my point I just went on a rant about? You put in a rookie in a bad organization to start off your career, and you expect we to see good quarterback play. That's my whole point. You're not going to see it, homie. Just look at it. Why did Patrick Mahomes sit a year behind Alex Smith, and then guess what we see? Why did Jordan Love sit 6 behind Aaron Rodgers, and why did we see what we see?
Because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Why did Aaron Rodgers sit behind Brett Favre? And
because that's Brett Favre.
Why did Tom Brady sit behind Drew Bledsoe? And
because there's Drew Bledsoe, and we didn't know Brady was going to be Brady. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Bledsoe was an all-pro quarterback, and Tom Brady was a 6th-round guy. Aaron Rodgers is the Hall of Famer, the best ball spinner of all time. Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer right now. The only example, the best example you got is Alex Smith. I'll give you that one. He's a good quarterback too, but he's not on the other level of the other guys.
But hold on, though. So it kills me that you guys go against these guys that played in the league, that played forever, and did all these things. So you're saying Tom Brady's lying, too, like I am. Because that's what he said. Tom Brady said he's lying. He said rookie shouldn't start. That's what he said, homie, yesterday. They shouldn't. I've been on this tip for a long time. They shouldn't start on a bad franchise, and you know they're not going to start on a good one because that means they're good. So why should they start on a bad franchise if we know they're being thrown to the wolves without even learning anything yet? And they didn't even play their last college bowl game, most of them. And now we're throwing them in, not playing any preseason football in the NFL. And then we go expect them to do great. And then all the fanboys and Twitter gurus out here are pissed off today at Caleb Williams if you're a Bears fan, at Jaden Daniels if you're a Redskins fan, at Bryce Young, if you're a Panthers fan. You expected them to be good already, homie.
Well, that's the fans' fault who don't know football, who don't understand. Like, you and I, as guys who played the game, didn't expect Caleb Williams to go out there and throw 6 touchdowns today with 300 yards. We understand there's a little bit of a transition with that, but I'm saying there's certain franchises where you got to give the fans and the team and the community some hope. And if you don't have a legit veteran quarterback who your rookie could sit behind, then it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Who's the backup for Caleb Williams? I don't even know who it is. Who's the backup for that? Like, some of these teams, it's like I don't have an Aaron Rodgers to start, so Jordan Love can sit back. I don't have a Brett Favre guy to start, so I don't have an Alex Smith guy. Alex Smith is a really good quarterback in that system. I don't have an Alex Smith guy who Mahomes can sit back and watch. So it just depends on the situation. Is what I'm trying to say.
You understand that this is created over time, right? You do understand that there's quarterbacks in this league that get pushed out or pushed to the side over time for the contract rookies are getting now. That has changed, right? You do understand over the last 5 years, this is what's changed this. That is why there's not Steve Young, Joe Montana comparison, Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe comparison, Peyton Manning, Drew Luck comparisons, all these different comparisons. This is why they don't have
Andrew Luck started off the back because we traded Peyton Manning because of the net to the Broncos. Andrew Luck started as a rookie and ball 11-5.
I mean Andrew Luck. But what I'm saying is you do understand there's a real true meaning to experience, lack thereof, and getting your feet wet on bad organizations. This is not how you develop a quarterback by throwing him in, expecting him to gain experience, to your point. Because to be honest, dog, you don't just throw a fucking piece of meat in the fucking cage with a lion and expect the guy to get out of it. Like, it doesn't make sense. You're throwing these guys to the wolves, Smitty, without any experience, help, or coaching yet. And you understand something. College football now is RPO, shotgun, tempo. In the NFL, it's not that. And I got to understand every single thing that's going on. Why have the guys who have more experience, have a better understanding year one than the guys who don't? And you guys are talking about Will Levis ain't a rookie. He is a rookie. You motherfuckers act like he's just a seasoned veteran, homie. Just because he's starting in year 2 and he played half the year last year doesn't mean he's not a rookie mentality-wise. Will Levis looked like a rookie -3 yesterday. So did Caleb Williams. So did Jaden Daniels. So did Bo Nix. So did all these guys. Look
I guess
at
what
it.
I'm saying is, I mean, like, okay, cool. I'm cool with your opinion of saying that rookies shouldn't start. Cool. If that's the island you land on, cool. I understand what you're saying. You make some good points. But this isn't like a new thing, though. Like, rookies been starting. Like, Matthew Stafford started as a rookie through like 3 picks in this opening game. Like if you're a first round quarterback, especially if you're number 1 overall or your top 10 pick, more than likely you're probably going to start for your team. More than likely, because you're on a bad franchise. It just is what it is.
Not at this cliff. We haven't started rookies at this high of a cliff. We've started rookies, and don't bring up C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's an anomaly. There's an anomaly every so often. Andrew Luck is an anomaly. We have anomalies.
Cam Newton.
Don't get it twisted.
RG3.
By the way, though, he got to understand. You got to understand the process. Cam Newton came in and threw for 400 yards 3 out of his first 5 weeks as a rookie. Broke all kind of records. Never threw for that many yards again in his career. Never threw for it again in his career. And this guy went to a Super Bowl and won an MVP. Understand, the book is out on you very quickly in this league is my point, Smitty. The book is out on you very quickly in this thing. And I'm just telling you right now.
Joe Burrow.
I'm just telling you, AR5 did not look good, G Wizzle. He was 9 of 19. He had 2 bombs. Other than that, he missed 2 wide open touchdowns, and he was fucking horrible.
He was not horrible. He was
I'm
not.
going to tell you right now, see. I don't know. We'll argue about that later.
All right, bro. We bring that up later.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, though.
I'm going to say that, though.
I'm going to pay you some homage. I'm going to pay you some homage. AR5's a freak of nature. Maybe one of the biggest freak of nature I've ever seen.
Freak.
With the arm talent, with running the football, all that shit. He's a freak of nature, dog. But he'll never be a good quarterback in this league. And I hate to say it and hate to be honest with you, but it's true. And listen, I'll get off the Daniel Dimes topic. And I'll get off his bandwagon. But you're going to have to get off AR5, too.
You tripping, man. Hell no. That's apples and oranges. AR5 is way better than Daniel Jones. Way better.
I take
way
Tyson
better.
I take
Not
Tyson
even fucking close.
I'd take Tyson Baggett over that.
Not even close.
Hey,
Not even
close.
Anthony Richardson, I will admit, at this point in his career, because he's basically still a rookie, it was like his 4th or 5th game because he got hurt last year. So I'm looking at this as his rookie season still. The man, he's right now, he's hit or miss. I will admit that. He's either fucking Josh Allen or he's Justin Fields and nothing in between. We saw that bomb to Alec Pierce, perfectly thrown, double coverage, off balance throw, threw it like 60 yards in the air, dropped it in the bucket, boom, perfect time. The runs that he did with the decision making he did on those runs, the last touchdown he scored at the end of the game where he muscled through and got to the end zone, Josh Allen-esque. He did some great things, but he also did some bad things. Our rookie, Adonai Mitchell, wide open for a touchdown. He just overthrows him. Another play, Adonai Mitchell on the other side of the field, beats a double coverage again, just misses him. So he's hit or miss right now. He's learning. But what I'm telling you is we can't watch that game and say, oh, he's shitty, he's horrible, he's trash. If he's that bad and we think C.J. Stroud and Texas are that good, why the hell did the game go down to the wire? The reason why we were in that game was Anthony fucking Richardson. Point blank period. You got to take the good with the bad. He's a rookie. Let's call it. He is a rookie. He is this is the second year in a row where he's the youngest quarterback starting week 1 in NFL history. Second year in a row. That's what it is. So he's still learning right now.
You realize you're making my point, though. My whole point.
He's still learning right now. But even with him learning, he accounted for 3 touchdowns, threw for over 200 yards, ran for I think another damn near 100.
So 200 yards is now the new.
He didn't play bad.
Hold on, though.
Overall, he had basically 300 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns.
17 quarterbacks in the NFL threw for under 200 yards yesterday.
Stats don't tell the full story, homie. And you too smart to even keep going and doing that, JB.
I'm just asking you. You're now making excuses for a 9 and
I'm not making excuses. I'm giving you facts. I'm saying that overall he accounted for 300 yards of total offense. The thing about you that I'm not going to let you get away with on the show while I'm on the show is I'm not going to just look at one stat that benefits my argument. I'm going to look at the totality of the stats. And I know you don't like quarterbacks who run because to you, Quarterback should just throw the ball, and that's the era you grew up in. I respect that. But this is a new
No,
era.
I think
So
you're right.
if I throw for 220 yards and I go run for 75 or barely get the stat from whatever Anthony Richardson ran for, it's a totality of numbers, a totality of stats. He accounted for 300 yards of offense with 3 touchdowns. That's what it is. The one pick that he threw, if you watch the replay, Kylan Granson stumbled and slipped, and they went straight to the Texas Orange. When you watched it live, I thought it was a bad throw by AR5. You watch the replay, perfectly fucking accurate throw. The tight end has to keep his feet underneath him. So all I'm saying is when you look at the totality of the game, yes, he missed some big-time throw. Fucking Matthew Stafford, who's a Super Bowl champion and a veteran, potential Hall of Famer, missed a big-time throw yesterday.
All right, let's
it
get
happens to everybody. So I'm not going to let you watch the 2 bad throws and be like, oh, he's horrible. Because that's the case. That tell me you didn't watch the game when you say comments like that, JB.
Right, we got to get to our guest. AR5 is fucking horrible. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's way better than that Daniel Jones. Way fucking better than Daniel Jones. Not even close. Not even close.
Bailey, let's bring in Shaun King. We got to take a commercial after this because Shaun's in his car driving. Shaun, we're getting echo. Shaun, you got to turn off either your phone or your YouTube. I don't know what it is.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
You good? You sound good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's even better. Big Shaun King, man.
All right.
What's going on?
You hear us?
I can kind of hear y'all. Bailey, can you turn them up a little bit?
We up already.
I think we up, homie. I've turned my mic a little bit.
Your speaker, maybe.
I want to be too hot.
Yeah, we're too hot already. Let me, hey, Shaun, let's dive into right out the gate your takeaway from Colorado, Nebraska.
Colorado, Nebraska takeaway, Shaun.
Let's bring him back in. Okay.
I think what we saw was the way Matt Rule is building the program at Nebraska is more effective than the way Coach Sanders is building the program at Colorado. Because these guys took over these programs at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And Matt Rule and that staff have kind of focused more on high school recruitment, getting guys in the program, getting them in their weight and strength and conditioning program, developing them, teaching them the system, making them a part of the culture. And they look like they're headed in the right direction. Coach Sanders, who deserves to make his own decisions, they decided to get rid of everybody, bring a big group in, get rid of that big group, bring a whole nother big group in. And I just think the more effective way to build the program is how Rule and his staff are doing it. And I think it showed.
Agreed.
What do you look at right now as the biggest issue for Colorado? Just from the outside looking in, looking at these first 2 games, what seems to be the biggest issue from your perspective for Colorado right now?
They aren't great in any particular area. Like they have a talented quarterback, but I don't think their wide receiver core is elite. They can't run the ball effectively, so in turn, that really puts a lot of pressure on that offensive line to be great in pass protection when the D-line doesn't ever really have to, defend the run. I mean, you play D-line, Smitty, so you know what it's like when, the offense going to throw 70% of the game. I mean, you got your ears pinned back. And let me say this about pass protection. If anybody watched Rams-Lions last night, man, the Rams didn't block a damn soul. But Matthew Stafford's an elite quarterback. He still found a way. Got rid of the ball quicker, had a plan against pressure. Like, he wasn't complaining. He didn't have any bad body language. Like, if you want to be the number 1 pick in the draft, look at what Bryce Young going through in Carolina. Ain't nobody blocking for Bryce Young. So, like, this narrative that it's just the offensive line, man, JB will tell you this, man. Less than 10% of the good teams in America got a great offensive line.
Shaun, you and I were both – you were more athletic than me, but I was slow. I got quick feet in the pocket, and that's all I lived by. My O-line was bad everywhere I've ever been, and guess what? I never got sacked. I got that motherfucker out, and I threw it out because I already knew. And guess what? I fed my O-line every Friday. I praised my O-line every day. I whispered sweet nothings to them and told them how good they were, and they were shitty. And I'm just telling you, that's what you have to do. And Shaun knows this. That's what you have to do. But, Shaun, let me ask you something. When you pass pro, and I'm an O-line guy, by the way, even though I'm a quarterback guy, O-line is one of my favorite spots to coach. When you're an O-line guy and a mentality of an O-lineman, if you get your ass in a 2-point stance the entire game and kick step, kick slide, and not have to command or double team a D lineman, you don't have the mentality to pass protect. You're not going to be good. And if you don't run block first with your fucking hand in the dirt and you get hip to hip and we get shoulder pad to shoulder pad and we drive somebody, you're never going to be a great pass protector. And you cannot sit here and tell me schematically Colorado coming out in 10 personnel 3-by-1, 7 of the first 9 snaps, throwing the ball is a collective way to indict physicality. No, it's not. You're asking for your ass to get ripped, and then you're asking for your quarterback to run around with his head cut off because he doesn't have any faith in the system, and that is a cultural problem, not an individual one. So I'm just telling you, there's a lot of issues there in Colorado. I've been saying it. We've been saying it. No one wants to listen. You're a hater if you go against it, and you're a liar if you say otherwise. And if the truth hurts you, get the fuck out of the show. Because that's real.
By the way, where's McChesney today?
Uh-oh.
He
Like, we not buying any excuses why he's not on the show.
He got court, and I think it's legit. I think he had a court date today, but he is going to be on his show later on this evening. So I'm sure we're going to have some clips and stuff from that, and maybe we can try to get Matt on. I don't know. Tomorrow's loaded, but
1 p.m.
we'll
Eastern.
see.
He'll be on his show at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then Matt will come on tomorrow. We're trying to fit Matt in tomorrow. He wants to come on, so he is in court. I know Matt's never lied to me.
Yeah, Matt never lied.
So we'll see. But Shaun, listen, we saw that game. We saw that game, and I'm just telling you, that was a horrible plan.
Say it one more time.
It was a horrible plan as a coaching staff.
Yeah, I thought the issue was they never made any adjustments. I mean, you could tell after the first 2 drives that they were not going to be able to 5-man pass pro Nebraska. You know, so I thought the thing to do was go to 11 personnel, add a bigger body tight end to that pass protection, help chip those ends, send the tight end one way, the running back to the other, like give some help up front. And at least if you're going to try and throw the ball down the field, you know, you give yourself some semblance of a chance. But to stay in as much 10 personnel as they did with both edges open, I just was a recipe that wasn't going to work. And at the end of the day, let's just be honest, Nebraska looks like they're further ahead as a program. I mean, if we're just keeping it 100, and it's not a knock, it's just the truth. I mean, it is what it is. You look around the country, hell, it's a lot of people with a lot of question marks, to be honest.
Yeah. No,
hey, Shaun,
true.
I got to ask you something real quick. Shaun. This is not what Coach Shermer wants to run. And that's not
Absolutely not.
And Sean Lewis didn't want to run this last year. And this is why I'm saying this is not a program that's allowing assistant coaches to be promoted within like most good programs do. Sean Lewis got out of there because he didn't want to be in 10 personnel and throw the ball with a guy who's just fucking sitting around throwing the football around to say we throw it. Either does Pat Shermer, who comes from an NFL legendary guy who wants to get into some 12 and 11 and dictate the box more, but yet we have to put him in 10 and throw him the ball because we got to pat his stats. And I'm just keeping it real. That is what these assistants do. They walk on eggshells, and I'm telling you right now, this is not how you build a program.
JB fired up this morning, ain't he? Jesus.
Hey, he's been like this weekend, Shaun. But nah, that's real though.
I'll say this: I don't have any inside information, so if JB knows a little more than me on that particular front, then I'll defer to him on this one. I would say I think it's tough for any career NFL offensive coordinator to go back to college in 2024. I just think that's a tough transition. So I wasn't enamored with the Shermer hire from the beginning.
Yeah, nah, that's a good point, man. For me, just watching the game at JB's, man, I just feel like Colorado's offense has never gotten to a rhythm. From the opening snap, their first drive they tried to do was 2 quick out, like screen type route passes on the first play. Didn't get it, and it was just never the whole. That was just the flow of the entire game was that right there. They never could get a rhythm on first and second down. A few times they tried to run the ball, They got stuff. It's just like nothing worked for their offense at all the entirety of the game. And you saw that from the beginning. And to JB's credit, I felt kind of similar way last year. It's like if they don't get going on first and second down, they don't get going early in the game, the whole morale of the offense and team and the energy of Shedeur and the O-line just changes and shifts. And you felt it through the screen.
Let me be honest, dog. I got to be honest with you guys. We keep talking about this shit, but the truth of the matter is it comes down to your head coach and your son being the figurehead of this coaching job that you obtained. And we don't have a scheme, a rhyme or reason when we approach games, offensively speaking. If you watch Sean McVay and the Rams last night, who are down to their fourth-string O-lineman without Nakua, guess what he does? He protects Matthew Stafford the best he can, and he has a plan of success to give them opportunities to control the line of scrimmage, to block people they cannot block with fourth-string O-linemen, and that is a plan. Colorado has no plan. They just don't.
But whose fault is that? Like, ain't that the OC?
The head coach. Whose fault you think it is?
No. But I'm saying if you the head coach, and again, Deion don't call plays. So some head coaches like yourself call play. You was the head coach in the OC. He's not. He hires you as OC to put together the structure. He oversees everything. You gotta blame the OC for that, for not having a plan, right?
Smitty!
I'm asking you.
What are you talking about, homie? What are you talking about? The fuck you just watched if Sean Lewis get fired last year, homie. And now you're just seeing this motherfucker, same thing he's doing. They're running 10 personnel, homie. What do you mean? You don't think that's patting his son, daddy-ass son stats? That ain't no fucking.
But it ain't working, JB. Deion's not stupid. I'm saying it's not a good look for Shedeur. Shedeur didn't play well, so we gotta change. We gotta switch it up. So you start applying the stats. It didn't look good. My eyes work. Your eyes work. Shedeur didn't play good at all. So the position ain't working.
Who hired the guy, homie?
Deion.
So what are we talking about? Hey, Shaun, have you ever seen a program that they blame the OC, not the head coach? I ain't never seen it. Like,
let me say this. Let me say this.
God.
Because they've got to, in my opinion, come up with an effective way to run the ball, or they have to go to more of a screen, quick passing game. Like the thing that I didn't understand was you're struggling to protect, but you're still trying to push the ball down the field. Like it's just common sense. I mean, all the route combinations could look great on paper, but if you can't protect long enough for them to develop, then you got to start. And the one thing McVay does a great job of, they always got some kind of motion, some kind of shift, making the defense shift their eyes. They always got some kind of quick option, for if there are protection issues to get the ball to somebody, so they're going to have to figure some things out moving forward because, I'm going to be honest. They've kind of turned themselves into like the game that gets circled on everybody's schedule. Yeah. So they're going to get everybody's best. Like they're going to, I think they're at Colorado State,
which is another big time rival type game. So
Norvell and them been practicing for them since the summer. Trust me. So, I would say this, and I know that there are people in that building that listen to this show. I wish they would kind of get Shedeur under control a little bit. Like to leaving the sideline before the end of the game, to saying in the post-game press conference, well, how many times did Raiola get hit compared to how many times? Like, I just wish somebody would pull him to the side and show him how that looks.
It's a joke, homie.
And he's a young kid, so I'm sure it's not malicious. And sometimes when you're in the middle of being a big-time celebrity, it's hard to, like, see your flaws, your errors. But I hope it's so many people there that I know are strong men. I hope somebody has enough of a platform with Deion to go to Shedeur and show him what that looks like. Because they've said he wants to be the number one pick in the draft, right?
Yeah.
That's generally the kind of team the number one pick in the draft goes to. One that's not elite, that's not loaded with playmakers, that has offensive line. Ask Bryce Young. What he's going through right now. And you don't ever want to, like, here's what I learned as a quarterback. No offensive lineman in America wants to suck. No offensive line group in America wants to be bad.
No.
But sometimes the chips fall how they fall. But the last thing you want to do is have those guys turn against you because it only will get worse.
Yeah.
At least if they're limited athletically, but they're trying, you got a shot.
Yeah.
If they get to that, hey, man, screw the quarterback. You in big trouble.
When do we stop making excuses for these guys, though? When are all these
I ain't making no excuses, JB.
No, not you. I'm just asking. When do we, the nation, stop making excuses every week for this program and this act that we continue to see week in and week out? I just want to know. I'm asking the public, when are the excuses going to end and say, you know what? JB came on here and ate crow about Daniel Dimes right now just because Shaun King was coming on the show. So he ate crow and had a prayer ceremony before the show started. But when am I going to say I was wrong about Colorado and Deion and this circus-ass show we're watching every single week? I just want to know when you're all going to admit it and when you're all going to admit that I know quarterback play and y'all don't. When are we going to admit that with Sam Darnold, motherfuckers? When are we going to admit that all the shit that I've been saying about these QBs being horrible and 17 of them threw for under 200 yards to start a season, which I've never seen in the NFL. When are we going to admit that? I'm just trying to figure it out. But all y'all will come on Twitter and say all this and that, but you'll never eat crow yourselves, which is crazy to me. I just want to know, Shaun, do you not compare the Cleveland Browns and the exact offense they're running with Deshaun Watson to Shedeur Sanders in Colorado? That's exactly what I witnessed over the weekend. I witnessed the two exact same offenses and teams relying strictly on the quarterback to save the day, and they don't have enough around him to do anything else to help them. Deshaun Watson is as bad as I've ever seen. You and I have been saying he hasn't been the same. I would probably put Jameis Winston in, but they probably won't because $200 million hard cap will be eliminated, and that's the worst contract in North American sports history. And I just don't understand. I see a guy in the shotgun, Shaun, in Deshaun Watson, that is strictly struggling because they can't turn his back to the defense and cannot run any sort of play action pass or anything else to control the defense. And that's exactly what I see at Colorado. There's no differences. But when I turn in and see Flacco go in there and run the same offense and actually excel, I have a problem. Deshaun Watson is him. He's the problem.
Well, JB, you said a lot. Let me answer all of it. Let's start with Deshaun Watson. Number one issue they have is he's not the kind of quarterback that can go into the first game of the regular season without having gotten live reps. Yeah. He looked rusty. His processor was not operating at live NFL game speed. You also saw a guy that, for whatever reason, and I don't know how much time he missed because I know there was some injury stuff, but he doesn't seem to be on the same page with his wide receivers. And the most shocking part of evaluating Deshaun Watson, for as athletic as he is, he's the worst quarterback in the league at keeping his eyes downfield when he scrambles. He's one of the only guys I know that has that level of athleticism that only scrambles to run. Like when he gets out of the pocket, like I'm looking at Amari Cooper wide open. I mean, I'm looking at Jerry Jeudy wide open. And when he scrambles, it's like he just forgets that there are eligibles, that you can throw the ball before you get past the line of scrimmage. Like, it's really fascinating, to watch it. I think a lot of it's rust. And then I'm not a big Ken Dorsey fan either. So I think Ken Dorsey's the OC in there. I imagine the first domino to fall, if this continues, will be Dorsey getting relieved of his duties and Stefanski, taking over the play calling.
Hey, I think Kyler Murray is right there with them. Is bad when he scrambles, he becomes a runner. And
you know what's interesting about that, JB? I just finished this morning. Listen, for all you guys watching, I get up and watch the All 22s. I watch a bunch of the games live, but then I go back and watch the All 22. If you don't know what the All 22 is, that's like what we will watch in the film room, where we can see the coverage, we can see the entire field, like where the blitz was looking like he was coming from, all kind of stuff. This is the first game I thought Kyler Murray's height was a real issue. He really, really struggled to see some things, especially in the red zone. He had McBride open a couple times for touchdowns. He had Marvin Harrison on the one I'm sure everybody's seen to the right where he was running wide open. This is the first time I thought his height really hurt him. So it's going to be interesting with Jonathan Gannon and that staff. They're going to have to move the pocket a little more. They're going to have to do some stuff to help him out with that because I've never seen him struggle like that Anthony Richardson, I heard the conversation when I was waiting in the back. He is so flawed fundamentally, he'll never be able to consistently locate the football until he changes how he throws the football. You cannot be an NFL quarterback and miss Adonai Mitchell twice as wide open as you just can't play in the league. And what's so frustrating, the throw he makes to Pierce under pressure might be one of the top 5 throws we're going to see all season.
Right there.
But the problem, Smitty, is you can't win at a high level if that's the same guy in a clean pocket that can't hit Adonai Mitchell when he wide butt naked open.
But bro, I hear what you're saying. I respect you, OG. Trust me, I felt the same way watching the game. But we're saying that, and they literally was right. He lost by, it was 29-27, OG. So we saying that, but they lost by 2 points. He's one of the better teams in the NFL. So I think the Colts are a good team. And hat tip to I just thought it was a well-played game. I thought there was a lot of ebb and flows to it. I thought they did a good job of making C.J. Stroud uncomfortable. I thought they did a really good job of taking away the Texans' deep passing game and kind of turning them into a dink and dunk. You know, they decided, we're going to let Joe Mixon get 4-5-yard runs, and we're going to, make sure they don't beat us over the top. So I thought it was a good game plan by Shane Steichen and that staff. So I'm not a person that doesn't think the Colts have a good team. What I'm saying is the same misses that we've seen Anthony Richardson make in Gainesville at University of Florida are the same misses we're seeing him make as a starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm telling you, it's his throwing motion. He doesn't rotate through his throws. He throws across his body when he doesn't have to. And I'm just telling you, it's impossible to consistently locate the football when you throw like that.
Hey, Shaun, let's move on to college real quick before we get you out of here. I appreciate you calling in.
Say it again.
JB, you're low, JB, for real this time.
I don't understand why I'm low. I'm still low?
Nah, when you put it to your mouth, it's hot.
Hey, Shaun, I'm going to move to college football real quick.
Okay.
Your Tulane, Green Wave, they had the game won, I thought. They had the game won, and K-State, for whatever reason, came back and won. How proud are you of your boys without Willie Fritz? How proud are you of that performance?
Well, I'll say this. The expectation level, at least for me with the program, is we got to figure out how to win that game. A game that I thought we dominated. We got a freshman quarterback, Mensa. I mean, he's tremendous. But if I'm coaching him, I forget all the good plays. We sold a whole farm, 150 acres for $1.50 because you had bad ball security. And so those are things that we got to fix. We got to work on. And here's why. When you're in that non-power 4, power 5 range, the amount of times you're going to have a team that's complete enough to make this college football playoff, you don't know how often that's going to happen. With teams come and try and take your players. So I'm happy that we hadn't fell off from Fritz to Sumrall, but I'm a little frustrated because that's a game we should have won. I don't know if you guys watched the whole game. We looked like the better team.
I did.
It was a game that was played in New Orleans. We got to find a way to win that game.
Yeah, they hit them. They were hitting harder too, I thought.
That's a tough loss, man. That's a tough loss, man. My Ball State Crumbs, we were able to, we're undefeated right now during the season. So I just want to throw that out there. I know you got a lot of talk and energy about the MAC. I don't know if you saw this. NIU beat the number 5 team in the country as well in Notre Dame. So I know you always ask me what days does the MAC play on. Well, this fucking weekend we played on Saturday and we was beating some ass. I'm just going to let you know that.
Tip to the MAC. Bowling Green had Penn State on the rocks.
Yeah.
But I mean, y'all still in college football conference right now. We talking about mid-season when y'all start playing on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's what we talking about.
Hey, listen, take a look at this video right here, Shaun.
All right.
Tight pant wearing, spandex wearing Coach Freeman is about to lose to Northern fucking Illinois. You can't tell me that college football's not watered down. I don't want to hear shit about no college football not watered down. They're about to lose to Northern fucking Illinois. Don't talk to me no more. And all you Twitter gurus out here, shut the fuck up. And come watch the Coach JB show with Big Smitty Monday morning. Because this mother...
Hey, here's the most fascinating thing about that loss. How in the hell can Notre Dame not score more points against NLA? That is embarrassing. Like, I get it if you lose in a shootout and they got like some first round quarterback and a first round wide receiver, but for them to beat Notre Dame in that kind of game, like, that is embarrassing.
They were the more physical team up front. If you watch the game, their O-line was bullying Notre Dame. They were running the ball all over them. That's how we play Midwest MAC football. We're physical.
Hey, Shaun, can you give us your before you get out of here? Can you give us your top 5 and top 5 performances, top 5, bottom 5 performances, top and bottom 5?
Player or team?
Team.
Oh, at the bottom is Michigan. I mean, that was awful. Coming off a national title, I mean, to have the quarterback room in that position, I mean, that's a felony offense. I mean, you can't tell me that every quarterback in the country didn't want to come to Michigan and replace J.J. McCarthy. So to trot that guy out, I mean, I'd have been okay going back to McNamara, getting him back from Iowa. Like, it was a whole bunch of options. Like, so it's embarrassing that got to that point. I'm going to put FSU in here, you know, even though they didn't play. Because from the narrative that we heard all season about they should have been in the college football playoff and them being 0-2 after opening with Georgia Tech and who they play in week 2? Boston College. Yeah, we don't ever want to hear from the Seminoles again. Like, y'all just go to Tallahassee, find out who to vote for, and disappear. Let's see, top performance. I thought Sam Darnold balled out. Hat tip to Sam Darnold. I'm going to give JB some credit. See, I'm the kind of analyst, I can give credit where credit is due. But, you know, when I pat you on the back, I got something else coming from you on the backside. Daniel Jones may be the worst quarterback in all of football. We talking high school, JB, pros, talking Little League. You know how hard it is, JB, to practice as much as the Giants practice and not score 8 touchdowns?
I couldn't hear you. I had something happen.
Like that. That's almost impossible, man. That's heartbreaking for the Giant faithful.
I don't know anything you just said.
Hey, Shaun, Shaun, real quick. Would you say Daniel Jones is better than Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Thank you. All right, move forward.
Just because I've seen more of Daniel Jones and he's still the same guy. I haven't seen as much of Anthony Richardson.
You ain't got to say all that. You asked the question. We good. We can move on.
And listen, let me throw something out here because I had a lot of Chicago Bear fans all up in my DMs, all up in the interview. Don't come to me if you didn't come to me down 17-0. I don't want to hear you now. After you run a kick, block a punt for a touchdown, Will Levis gifts you a pick six, maybe the dumbest play in the history of football in and of itself, and your quarterback threw for under 100 yards. So don't come Rudy tooting in my DMs talking about how about them Bears, because y'all are going 7-10 based on what I saw yesterday.
They're fucking horrible. I gotta be honest, they're fucking bad. They're bad, Shaun. I'm just telling you right now, they're a bad fucking program, and I don't know. They got
JB, I got one more, JB. You know how in soccer, like in those big leagues, I'm drawing a blank on what Manchester United and them play. Like the bottom 2 teams, like they send them back down to the lower league.
Relegation.
Like the Panthers should be relegated. Like it's time to put them in the CFL. You know, let Tepper get his private jet miles up, because, man, they are awful. They are good Lord, man. You know what? I want to send a prayer out to all Panther fans. Like, it'll be a long season in Charlotte.
Let's do it real quick.
Dear baby Jesus, please pray for Bryce Young and the Panthers offense and our girl Sheena Quick for joining the show. Covers the Panthers. She is about the best thing going in that organization right now. Shout out to Sheena Quick. Amen. Hey, Shaun, real quick.
Hey, y'all, I'll give y'all another day this week. I got all the babies in the car taking them to school. Say hi to Coach JB and Smitty.
Hi, Coach. What up?
Hey. Have a great day.
Y'all tomorrow if you want. Just let me know what time. Let me get off this phone while I'm driving.
All right, bet.
All right, Shaun King.
Hey, listen.
Your sound is bad, JB. I don't know what you did to your mic. I don't know. You've been sucking on the mic all morning, or you got it wet. I don't know. 5-hour energy got in there. You sound low.
Is it better now?
It's a little better. I mean, if mediocrity is the new excellence, then it's better.
I don't understand why it's low. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't no telling what you did, man. You know, when you prepare the night before, then you're good. You didn't prepare the night before, so that's why you're in the position you're in right now.
Crazy.
So
I don't
while he's getting right though, make sure y'all hit that like button because we got 2,600 people in here on YouTube alone. I think it's the biggest show since I've been on here for sure. And shout out to y'all for showing love. Hit that like button right now to get the algorithm rolling. Hit it right now. All 2,600 y'all hit it right now. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, let me change mics real quick. Hold on.
All right, change the mics, man. I'm gonna hold it down, man. Put me on the ISO real quick. Nah,
You hear
put me
me
on
right-
the ISO real quick.
hear me
Put
right
on-
now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Y'all gotta
Now.
stop disrespecting my coach, y'all. The coach look good. I know we took an L. I know we took a loss. I'm not happy about that. I'm not accepting the.
What about now? What about now? What about now?
You sound way better. You way better, JB. Way better. Way
All right.
better.
Hey, listen, I'm all for burning the midnight oil because I dominated on Saturday night. I was drinking at 10 in the morning because I cooked all day long. How was the food? I didn't even eat my own food. Did you have the ribs? Did you have the ribs?
Had the rib, I had the pork rib. I had the you made a baby
Beef.
back in Memphis, I think. I had the baby back with fire. The wings was crazy. The barbecue baked beans is your best work.
Did you have the beef rib?
I had the rolls. I ain't
Did
the
you
beef
have the
rib.
beef rib?
I ain't
Did you have
the
the
beef rib.
did you have the pulled pork?
Nope.
See, it's unbelievable. Disrespect. But anyway,
I ate a lot of food though. I had a good time. Chips was good, man. We hung with the fella. But you literally I feel like somebody put some in your drink, homie. I've never seen you in the last 2 years. I've never seen you get to a point where you were stuck. Even when you played poker and you lost to Ruben, you didn't say a word the whole time. I was like, damn, something's really
I owe Ruben $100.
I know.
Damn, well, tell me, homie. You're supposed to tell me.
I thought you already paid him. I thought he was a real one.
I thought he set me up though, Ruben. And Ruben, are you in here? I think you set me up because you know I was loaded. But listen, I'll be fine. I was drinking at 10 in the morning because it was noon somewhere. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna drink it noon. I'm gonna drink it 10. And you saw my new glasses I have?
Yeah.
Those are big ass Paloma glasses. Those motherfuckers,
You had 4 Palomas too. 5.
I gotta scale. No, I've had about 24. I have to scale back. I gotta scale back because the glasses are bigger. I got new
Everybody
glasses.
was concerned. Your AE was like, I've never seen him like this before. I said, I don't know what's going on. He ain't saying a word.
Because it's a different age. So listen, let's take a commercial break real quick. Let me get a coffee. Let me re-energize myself. I'm gonna go do some push-ups, come back and smoke Smitty some more because we got our top 5 of the world and bottom 5 of the barrel performances in the college football world. And tomorrow we will have our NFL's top 5 and bottom 5 performances. But today we're doing a college and we're gonna keep doing it. We got some more Colorado, Nebraska talk. We got some breakdown of tonight's game, and Eric Weddle will be joining us. Jeff Nadu will be joining us. We're going to give you our picks of the night tonight, the Jets and the Niners.
Woo!
We're going to break that game down.
Forgot about that almost.
And what did I tell Lucy?
You want me to say it for real or? It's up to you. It's your call.
By your tone, I don't know. Let's take a commercial break and let me think on it. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who has spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach! What's up, gentlemen?
Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, side of the road, LA, I assume that's not necessarily the safest place on earth. So we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA college football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the country to the other, Coach?
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy, the actual do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on. Shit.
Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, oh, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode. Okay. And I'm like, I can't watch this. Okay. And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
We got a new segment, and it's called But What Do I Know? But what do I know? Sean Salisbury and I have been saying it for a long, long time. But what do I know when they're breaking down the quarterback? I don't know shit, I guess. But what do I know? Deshaun Watson is playing about as bad as any quarterback in the NFL over the past 2.5 years. Here's a guy who hasn't played since week 10 of last year. No preseason games this year. And we expect him to be sharp. Look at the quarterbacks who played and didn't play preseason games. Look at the rookies who started. Why do we still think this is a good quarterback play in the NFL? College quarterbacks are playing until they are 25, 26, and 27 years old. We got 8th-year seniors, and we expect the NFL to get these guys and be a good product? But what do I know? This is the worst opening day quarterback play of my life in the NFL. The rookies should be sitting, and the second-year guys should be learning. Take Will Levis, case in point. The inexperienced plays he made last night were telling. Caleb Williams was too good to play in his bowl game last year of his season. Didn't want to play preseason, yet he throws for 50% and 92 yards. 92 yards in an NFL game. C.J. Stroud is an anomaly. We get those every blue moon, believe it or not. But you have been desensitized with such bad quarterback play that you think one quarterback will change the narrative for the entire league. It doesn't. You're wrong. Quarterback play is bad, ladies and gentlemen, and it's only getting worse. But what do I know? Sam Darnold has sat and sat after being forced to play. Jordan Love sat and sat. Mahomes even sat a year. And wow. But what the fuck do I know? That segment is brought to you by winnable.com/slappicks. Head on over to winnable.com/slappicks today and get the first down package. We are live in the scene, Smitty, on a mercenary Monday. No mercy Monday, but it is Merciless Monday, and I'm taking no mercy on this fucking Monday, Smitty. And I got a lot to talk about. Go ahead over to Winnable, Smitty. And I know you're going to do a Winnable ad later on by yourself because BPS, I like to see the BPS smile and stuff like that. So, but listen, but what do I know, Smitty? Quarterback plays bad. Let's do our top 5 list.
Let's do it. I'm excited for it. You gonna do me first or do you first? Pause.
You.
Well, let's do it. Show me something. College football team, Big Smitty's top 5 college football teams of the week. Starting number 5, man. I got to start off with Clemson. Now, listen, some of y'all might be looking at me like, Clemson, they played App State. I understand what you're saying, but understand that I went in on Clemson week 1 on how they performed against Georgia. So, the fact of the matter is we saw a lot of teams get upset or almost get upset in this week. So, you can't take any game, any opponent for granted. Clemson came out here, put up 66 points, which is huge. Cade Klubnik threw 5 touchdowns, threw for almost 400 yards. So I got to shout out Clemson for just bouncing back and just showing that, hey, yeah, we lost against Georgia, but we're still a good team. Shout out to them. Number 4, though, got to go with Syracuse. I thought Syracuse, man, they went out there and beat a really good Georgia Tech team that was undefeated. They're 2-0 right now, looking good, playing well. Cal McCord, former Ohio State quarterback, is out there looking like one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now. Threw 4 touchdowns, 381 yards. Balled out, had a good running game as well. Ran for another 83 yards on top of that, and to beat a Georgia Tech team who was rolling, who had upset a Florida State in their first game of the season, I thought was a huge win and credit to Syracuse. Number 3, I go Nebraska. Listen, Nebraska, they were the favorites to win this game against Colorado, but not by that much. And they destroyed Colorado. They beat their ass from beginning to end. I call it spade a spade. Whether I'm rooting for Deion in Colorado or not, it is what it is. They got their ass beat from the get-go and all the way through. Shout out to Matt Rule and that coaching staff for putting together a true unit and team. And, hey, Nebraska might be back. But at number 2, got to go with Texas, man. Texas is looking like the national champions right now. And I know it's early. I know it's only been a couple games, but they're rolling, man, on all cylinders, man. Didn't they lose their big-time running back before the season even started?
They got 2. The blue kid is a fucking All-American. They got some dudes.
Right, they got some dudes. Like I said, it didn't slow them down. They played against the reigning national champs in Michigan and destroyed them 31-12. Defense just stifled them. Quinn Ewers is looking like a baller, and even just some of the pictures and stuff I'm seeing, like post-game, pre-game, I'm seeing Arch Manning, you know what I mean, just having fun, throwing up the game, throwing up the horns, and you can tell it's a real unit right there. And Texas right now is my super duper early national champion favorites. But number 1, #Maction. I don't care if it's Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Thursday, Saturday. Line them up. We going to put you down. And Northern Illinois went out there and shocked the world and beat that team in Indiana that ain't Ball State, Notre Dame, a 15 that was ranked 5th in the country. And Northern Illinois, they didn't just go out there and beat them. They manhandled them. And what I mean by that is not the score, the way in which they won, the way in which they operated. It was smash mouth football. It was counters. It was powers. It was ISO. It was line them up. We what we going to do. Stop us. And they couldn't do it, man. Shout out to head coach right here, Thomas Hammock. He got emotional post-game, as he should. That's a huge win, not only for NIU, but for the MAC in totality, JB. So that's my top 5.
Why isn't that brother on national news today? Why is Deion and not him? I'm curious.
Well, we got him on our news. Only thing we can do is control what we can control, man. And we got him right here as my number 1. Shout out to Thomas Hammock, man. I'm supporting all my brothers. I'm supporting the MAC. I'm supporting all of that.
Hey, why is Shannon Sharp and Stephen A talking about fucking Deion right now when this brother right here, who I know personally, beat fucking Notre Dame? Why is he not on ESPN right now?
Because ratings, JB. Just like we had Deion as the thumbnail. We talked Deion the first hour, homie. You didn't talk about Thomas Hammock in the first hour, homie. You ain't brought him up all damn day, homie. So it ain't big media, it's small media too. Why didn't you do it? Because you're smart. That's why, homie.
We should have, but we're not mainstream media, homie. We're not mainstream media. We need Deion's picture on there to blow our show up. ESPN don't need that shit.
No, homie. Ratings.
No, homie, bullshit.
No, you're confused, homie. Bullshit, the ratings work the same way, homie.
No, it doesn't.
I'm telling you don't listen real quick, homie. This is my wheelhouse. If I'm a fan and I'm watching the damn show and I see Thomas Hammock, respectfully, who the average casual fan don't fucking know, they're going to turn the channel. If they see Coach Prime, Coach Deion, as you call him, they gonna tune in. That's what ESPN and Fox, they show and play what their audience wants to see. Point blank, period.
Listen.
I want to listen.
Deion Sanders was named the Sports Illustrated coach of the year, and he's lost 8 of his last 9 football games. That's a media narrative, homie. Come on, man.
It's bigger.
Yeah,
It's bigger than wins and losses.
I agree with you. You got to have Dion on the thumbnail, or you got to do an algorithm post. The bottom line is, though, this man should be talked about on mainstream media for what he's done. Just like Loxley should have been at Maryland, just like my boy Syracuse before they fired him. God damn it. God damn. Devo? Or why am I? Anyway, I'm losing his name, but all these brothers, Freeman should have been talked about, even if you want to talk about his tight fucking pants. The bottom line is we only talk about what the media narratives pushes. Dino Babers, sorry. We only talk about what the narratives are pushed. This guy should have been talked about today. Today, at least. Today. He beat Notre Dame, Smitty. A Mac-shin, like you said, they should have talked about him, I thought. And Fran Brown at Syracuse should be talked about right now. He's beat a Georgia Tech team who beat Florida State already. And we're going to talk about my top 5 and bottom 5. But let's do your bottom 5, or you want to do my top 5, Bailey? Whatever you want to do.
Fuck it. Bottom 5 right now. Big Smitty. We're going to start number 5. I got Oregon at number 5. And I know it sounds crazy, right? Because you're looking like, why you got Oregon? Didn't Oregon win? Yeah, man, but they not looking good to me. 37-34. Against a pretty good Boise State team. I understand that, but this is the second week in a row where, to me, Oregon just been looking a little mid. And my expectation for Oregon is to be the way Texas is looking. And they're not looking like that. The higher the expectation, the bigger the expectation, the more I expect from you. And when you go out there and you're average, then I'm gonna showcase that. So I know they won. I know it sounds crazy, but I got them at number 5 on my bottom 5 list. I need to see more out of Dan Lanning, out of all those 4 and 5 stars you got on that team. You got everything you need. You got the best uniform, one of the best stadiums. You got Nike sponsoring you. You got everything you need. Y'all got to play better. Y'all need to be dominating right now. Number 4, Baylor. JB actually had Baylor like competing. You thought Baylor was going to go out there. No, it was 12-23, I guess. But if you watch the game, though, like the score to me don't tell the full picture of how that game went. I thought Baylor was going to be much better this season, much more just a competitive. And again, 23-12 was a score, kind of a weird score, but you watch the game, Baylor was never really in the game at any point. Number 3, Georgia Tech. I mean, for the same reason we just explained, they got upset. You know, no one was expecting Georgia Tech to go out there and lose. They went out there and lost against Syracuse there. So you gotta put them on your bottom 5 list anytime there's an upset. And then number 2 and number 1, Michigan, again, expectations. You were the reigning national champions, and to go out there and get manhandled against a Texas team the way you did, it's embarrassing. There's no excuse for it.
Let me ask you something. You wouldn't have Colorado on there over Oregon?
And then number 1, I got Notre Dame. Notre Dame, man. As proud as I am of a MAC team going out there and doing their thing. And listen, I'm not shocked because I played at a MAC and we see upsets all the time. But still, if you're the 5th ranked team in the nation, one of the most historical programs in sports, period, and you go out there and lose against the little old MAC team, you got to be number 1 on the list. And that's what I got, JB.
Can I ask a question?
I'm done. I'm going to go mute. I'm not even going to say nothing.
Can I ask a question for the audience?
Yeah.
Where's Colorado? I just want to ask, where's Colorado? It's crazy to me. Whew, no Colorado on there, but a team that won is on there.
Colorado was supposed to lose based upon the odds. So that's why, Oregon is supposed to be a national title team. Expectations are extremely high. Colorado was not supposed to win on any odds anywhere. Prize picks, bet online, winnable. They were not supposed to win on any platform that you look at. So they lost worse than what I thought, but they're supposed to lose that game. So we're good.
Mine is crazy. There's Haitians in Ohio right now eating people's cats and dogs right now.
I don't know what you're talking about right now, but let's keep it sports and let's bring on your top 5 list.
Kamala let them in. All right, let's dive into Coach top 5 college football games from week 2. My top 5, Smitty, Illinois beat Kansas. Got to put them on there. Illinois Brett Bielema, known him a long time, has Illinois playing. We'll see what they do. Disappointment for Kansas, for a team that's got, championship expectations in some sort of manner or fashion. Losing Illinois this early, it's a telltale sign. Maybe JB does know what he's talking about, that this is as watered-down product as I've ever seen. Syracuse, number 4. Fran Brown, shout out to you. Black head coach, shout out to you. I'm going to give you love as a black head coach on here when nobody else will. I will. Shout out to you for beating a Georgia Tech team, going 2-0, rebuilding the program that Dino Babers left you. Good hands. Nebraska. I got to put them in the top 5. I would actually put them at 2 or 1, but Northern Illinois jumped it all because Smitty called it like he stalled it. The MAC came to play. Bowling Green played Penn State as well as you could play. Northern Illinois showed up. We'll see what Ball State does against Miami next week. But Northern Illinois beating tight pant wearing Freeman is a huge win. But I can't bump them over Texas that goes to the big house in front of 110,000 on a defending national championship defense who's returning a lot and beating a team like they stole something tells you that there's a difference in this Texas team and a lot of other teams that are playing across the country right now. I see Texas as just head and shoulders above a lot of teams right now. And I'm going to be honest, Iowa State beat Iowa, and it's a good win. But nobody cares about Iowa and Iowa State. They're fucking jokes. They're jokes. There's a bunch of white kids running around on a farm, running around in fucking cornfields. Keith, nobody gives a fuck about Iowa. You guys are shitty. You'll never win anything of any magnitude. So just stay playing that Iowa bandwagon song. Keep running through the fucking cornfields, motherfucker. Now, let's go to my bottom 5 because Oregon is on my top 5, bottom 5. They are playing bad. They're playing bad. They are playing bad. I never said I didn't have them on, but I didn't say I didn't have Colorado on there either. Michigan, top 4, guaranteed. They play horrible. They should have got a quarterback. To Sean King's point, they should have got a quarterback. They are fucking atrocious at quarterback, and they put their defense in a lot of bad spots. Georgia Tech, you beat Florida State. You're coming off this win. You're saying you're back, Georgia Tech of old, and you get mollywopped by Syracuse with a first-year head coach. That is a disappointing loss. You deserve to be in my bottom 5. And Colorado, all that shit you talk and all that greatness you're supposed to be, and you're supposed to be better up front and supposed to have Phil Holden, going to be a great O-line coach, blah, blah, blah. You guys are fucking atrocious. And Tennessee hasn't played nobody yet. So stop putting Tennessee on there and mentioning Tennessee, okay? They haven't done anything yet, Sarah Blake, motherfuckers. And number 1, Notre Dame. You are the bottom of the barrel. You lost to a MAC team that, God, I want to do a prayer for Marcus Freeman, but how is it not watered down, Smitty? How do you not call this watered down? You're Notre Dame, homie. You're Notre Dame. You're supposed to be national championship contenders. You're number 5 in the country, Smitty. Number 5 in the country, Smitty. Come on, man. All right, Bailey, you can take it away. I won.
I guess upsets never happened in college football until the last 2 years. I guess when in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, I guess upsets don't happen every single year. I guess it's watered down now.
Hold on.
Back in the days, it wasn't watered. It's watered down now. Whenever in 05, it wasn't watered down. 06, hold
on. So an upset is when Appalachian State's an FCS school, they beat Michigan for the first time in the history of football. That's an upset. When it happens every week now on the norm, it's not upset no more. When will you stop calling these upsets? This is what college football is. It's watered down. It is NCAA basketball, homie. It's the product that we're seeing. This isn't good football. This isn't upset alert weekend. This is the everyday norm. Go look at college football. You're acting like we're just seeing one upset, and we're like, oh, it's an upset. No, this is the norm. It's not good.
We didn't just see one upset ever. It was always multiple upsets.
It's watered down.
Homie, football's great right now. We have the best athletes we've ever seen, the fastest athletes we've ever seen, the strongest athletes we've ever seen, the most dynamic player we've ever seen in the history of the sport. College football is great. NFL is great. I love football, and that's why we're a football show, and I love to come on this show every single day and talk about the greatest game on planet Earth. So that's where I'm at with it, homie.
God, it's bad. It's so bad.
You hate everything. You know what, JB? Tell me, what's top 5 JB things that he likes, just in general? You don't like shit.
All right, let's go. Top 5 that I like?
Just in general.
I like big natural titties.
All right.
Ass.
All right.
Gawk.
Yeah.
A.
Mm-hmm.
And a good whiskey.
All right.
So what's wrong with that? Huh. And then my 2 dogs, of course. But, you know, I put my 2 dogs in the top 5, but I just had to just go off the cusp real quick. You know, my dogs are number 1 and 2. But let me ask something real quick. What is your take before we get Jeff Nadu in here on Tom Brady in the booth? Because I got a very strong take, but I want to hear more.
Hold the fuck on right now. Whatever you about to say, it better be the most uplifting, positive fucking thing that you've ever said in the history of the Coach JB show ever. I thought he was phenomenal. I thought it was some of the best I've ever seen. I thought he broke down the game well. He gave real player-led perspective. I thought he came in there with a good energy. He joked at times when it was good to joke. It was good timing with their dynamic. I thought for it to be his first game, he did an excellent job. And that's what we're going to say, and that's what we're going to move on, because that's my coworker at Fox, and he's the top dog at Fox. And that's how we're going to keep it, and that's how we're going to love it. And we're going to move on to the next topic before we bring on Jeff Nadu.
Is Greg Olsen still at Fox?
I think so.
Yeah, Greg Olsen. Shout out to Greg Olsen.
Shout out to Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen is phenomenal. I love Greg. He's great at what he does.
Actually, Greg Olsen's the best.
Great. Greg Olsen's great. I love Greg Olsen as well.
He's the best. I thought because we talked about Tom Brady on the roast. So you know, but here's the thing about it. I disagree. I don't think he has a personality, Smitty, to be in that booth. Like, I just saw that is all I'm saying. I love Tom Brady. You know, I think he's going to be good. Here's the one thing I'll say. Tom Brady will get better because obviously it's his first time and all that. But I don't see it in the personality. Do you, Bailey?
No, that was – hello?
Oh, yeah.
No, that wasn't me. I apologize. No, sir. That was not me. That was Jason Brown. That was not me. I did not say anything negative at all about my coworker. I would never do that. I'm not crazy. I love everything he did. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. I'm not, sir. No. I need my job. Please, don't fire me. No.
What happened, homie? You all right? We got a new co-host, and his name is Jeff Nadu. Jeff, welcome to the show. I appreciate you, the owner and CEO of his own brand, the Sit Down Crime Pod. Make sure you recognize Jeff has built a brand. Go follow him and go support him. Jeff, big weekend. We just saw. I got Smitty fired just now on Fox. I wanted to break down this weekend of football. We've got one of our biggest shows. We had about almost 3,000 people live on YouTube in here. Shout out to you coming on here. Where are you at with the weekend in football, just in totality? Sum it up. And I mean college and pro, if you can, just a couple words or sentences. Your overall, just looking through the lenses of a better college and pro football in the last 10 years. Would you say it's a better product now or worse?
I would probably say from an NFL standpoint, it's definitely worse. From a college standpoint, I enjoy it. Always have, always will. I think the product's very good. But from the NFL standpoint, no, I actually think to myself a lot, you know, how do people sit here and watch this all day? Like, I don't understand how certain people do. Obviously, I'm a gambler. I don't care who wins or loses. It means nothing to me. Look, do I want the Eagles to do well? Absolutely. But it's not going to change a minute of my life if they don't win or don't play well. I've never really understood as I got older the way people think about sports. I don't get it. But again, people have interests. Some people think the interest that I have in the Mafia is weird. You know, we all have interest, but yeah, I don't think the product is good. No, not particularly.
Hey, Smitty, let me ask you a question. If this continues to go down this path in the NFL, I'm telling you right now, and I need you to be on this boat with me, literally and figuratively. I'm gonna be on the boat on Sundays till the end of the summer ends, and I'm not gonna watch the NFL. It's that bad. Smitty, wake up and pay attention.
What's the question, homie? You didn't get a question.
You're gonna be
set up. You didn't ask me shit.
Are you gonna be on the boat with me on Sundays? Because the football in the NFL is so bad. I'm gonna have TV on the boat. We'll put on AR5's garbage ass. We'll watch him if you want. But I'm just telling you, you're gonna come on the boat and chill. We'll just do a show live out there. I'll fly Jeff out. We'll go to the horse races. We'll go.
If you got TVs on there so I can watch the game, I will be on the boat.
I do.
If they work and we can check them, I will be on the boat. If you don't have no fucking TVs, I won't be on there.
The NFL is horrible. Jeff, we had 17. Football. Jeff, we had 17 NFL quarterbacks yesterday throw for under 200 yards.
And we had 17 who threw over 200 yards.
I've never seen it in my life, Jeff. I've never seen it in my life.
Yeah, I will also say, I mean, from what I saw in like the late games, I mean, they were rough, man. I mean, they're rough to watch. I mean, a lot of these games. I mean, yeah, I hear you.
The Ram game was good. I liked it because it went.
The Ram game was fucking good. The Colts Texas game was good. There was a lot of really good games. Y'all did some negative Nancy's. Y'all don't like shit. But y'all like three things in life. Y'all don't like football no more.
You don't even know what are you talking about?
You don't like football, Jeff, and fucking JB don't like it no more. Let's make this a fucking horse racing show or a soccer show then.
I mean, you just
good job, Bailey. Bailey agrees with Jeff and I. Good job, Bailey.
Of course he does. He's a fucking mini me. He's a mini JB.
Out of all the games at 1-4 yesterday, you named one game that was good. You named another game that didn't even happen at 1-4. So listen,
you didn't watch. You didn't say you said I don't got people watch football all day. You didn't watch the fucking game.
I don't sit there and watch it all day. I don't. Sorry. It's not that I don't know what's going on though. I watch it after the fact. I just don't sit there and watch game to game.
But watching the clips and the highlights don't give you the same experience of understanding the full form of the game.
Yeah, it's fair, but I can see scores like 47-10. I could see, like by the way, I'm going to keep saying this. And you know what's funny? I'm better at picking games. I don't even watch the games. Did I not tell you yesterday Joe Burrow stinks in the first 3 weeks of the season? I told all of you that. And you see the same shit over and over with this shit. And JB's right. And Smitty, I think you've talked about this. The quarterback play in this league sucks. It just does. There's probably 8 or 10 really good quarterbacks, and everybody else fucking blows.
And I hate to blame. I don't even blame the kids, the quarterbacks. I think it's just the nurturing, the coaching in college, the way we're bringing them up from high school. We're playing in a system that's just not conducive for NFL long-term success, and we're setting them up for failure. And I hate to see the greatest of all time athletically, the AR5s and Lamars and Kyler Murrays and Josh Allens and Herberts. I mean, Herbert threw for 140 yards yesterday. I mean, I've never seen it before. It's just crazy how we're dinking and dunking now. We've turned football into a extended run game by throwing bubble screens, now screens, and slip screens. And it's just unbelievable. We're taking away, in my opinion, Smitty and Jeff, we've trained the quarterback to get the ball out so quickly because we lack the knowledge of teaching them how to read and understand protections, where people are coming from, so we can actually drop back like Matthew Stafford put on a clinic last night on how to understand the pocket, manipulate it, and get the ball out, even though he was taking a chin shot. We don't see that no more. That's very rare nowadays. I expect to see it tonight again, Jeff, with Aaron Rodgers. Where are you at with this game tonight? We're going to give our free pick of the night out right now on this Monday Night Football game. Where are you at with this game as far as breaking this game down? And what do you expect from this Jet team, who looks healthy at least, minus Hassan Reddick? We don't know what's going on there. But a loaded Niner team seems to have everybody back finally, and a loaded Jets team could be two of the best rosters in football. What do you expect tonight from this game?
Well, listen, I like the Jets. I think it's hard to get away from them here. I mean, obviously, even without Hassan Reddick, they're still a very good defensive team. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers makes them a totally different team. I don't need to tell you anything we don't already know. To me, this game just screamed kind of 3 points either way. I don't think there's a particular advantage for either side. I think the Niners obviously have a better offense. And again, we still have to figure out what the Jets are, because inserting him back into the lineup is great and all. But again, you still have to run the football effectively. and the Niners have advantages all across the board. Again, this is a very tough game to pick. Again, if I'm getting more than 3 points, I'm always going to look to the dog here. I think the Niners have a great defense, a great offense. They're great on both sides. I don't like either head coach. That's really my problem here. I'm not a big Saleh guy. I don't like Nathaniel Hackett, and I'm not a big Kyle Shanahan guy either. Better coach, though. Did tough game. Very tough game. I lean Jets. It's not a game I'll be betting on. It's not a game I want to wager on.
Do you know off the top of the head, I know you do all this, do you know what the odds are for like a East Coast or a West Coast team that travels across the country?
So I talked about this yesterday with Arizona. Arizona, in the first game of the season, it's not as bad, right? Because you haven't played, you can game plan. Game 2, it's tough, right? Because you game plan for game 1, and then you got to go across and game. It's tougher in game, every week after week 1. In week 1, I don't think it's particularly difficult because you haven't played in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Smitty, where you at with this game?
I got the Jets winning this game. It's going to be a sloppy one, though. You got to remember, Aaron Rodgers didn't play all preseason. Purdy actually looked horrible in the preseason. Ayuk hasn't been there the whole damn, summer and off season. Now he's finally there coming late. Trent Williams is just now getting there late. I think it's going to be one of those sloppy games, but I think the Jets is going to end up winning the game ultimately. First game of the season. I just think, the energy is going to be high. Aaron Rodgers finally actually gets to play for them, finally, knock on wood. You know what I'm saying? I got the Jets winning the game. So,
hey, Smitty, coach, someone read Kevin Hazer's comment. Kevin, are you fucking serious? Do you know how many fucking winners I've given out on this show over the years for free? Kevin, are you fucking nuts? Are you sick in the head? Seriously? Where the fuck do you people come from?
These guys want. They don't want to give. They don't give. They want.
It's just making shit up. Like just straight up lying, man. Like,
it's on your Twitter every day. I don't understand. Hey, listen, real quick. We got a lot of people in here, so all the dick writers will come out, I'm sure. Let me ask you something about this Bengal prediction you made with Joe Burrow. I agree with. It starts off slow. I got to be honest, and Weddle's going to come on after you, and we're going to dive into this player empowerment shit with Jamar Chase. Higgins is out. Jamar Chase hasn't practiced all summer long with supposedly his homeboy, Joe Burrow. How much did that play effect last night? And I don't know if it's even played effect. Did it even play a big enough role as losing Mixon, who goes and gets 30 carries in Houston for 150 yards? Where are you at with those additions and subtractions?
Well, and as Smitty knows, I don't want to bring up anything negative. The Colts had major issues stopping the run. I mean, Joe Mixon looked very good. And look, I don't think you look at the one team that's had issues with siding certain people pissed off in the locker room, guys leave. And again, throw in the fact that it's magnified because Joe Burrow, the truth of the matter is, in the first 3 weeks of the season, he's really struggled. It's all confluence. It comes to a head, and you have a piss poor offensive performance. This was the worst offensive performance yesterday, other than the Panthers, right? And the Panthers are, I mean, I don't know why anybody, even myself, I thought the Panthers, we'd see a much better football team this year, but we were way wrong. What's interesting, though, is at the end of the day, the Bengals still had more yards per play than the Patriots did. And they still only scored 10 and lost the game. That was an ugly game all around. But, yeah, the Bengals need to figure these things out. They need to get Jamar Chase paid. They need to figure out what's going on with their running game. All due respect to them, but Zach Moss, I don't know that might be the worst running back group in the league. I mean, your second leading rusher was Joe Burrow. Chase Brown is their other running back. Who the fuck is that? Like, that's not a good enough run group for a team that we expect to go deep in the AFC playoffs. That ain't good enough. And again, you have a pissed off receiver as well.
Zach Moss, he's decent. He was a former coach. He filled in for Jonathan Taylor once he was hurt last year. He's decent, but he's not like a premier running back. You brought up a good point though, Jeff, about the Bengals. Like they had more. You said more yards per play, I believe is the stat you listed. Yeah. And when you watch that game, they were driving down the field. Actually, they were in the red zone multiple times. But one time they scored a touchdown, got called back for a penalty, so they settled for a field goal, settled for another field goal on another drive. There was turnover the ball. It just was a weird game where if you look at it, it's like, damn. The Bengals still should have won that game, even with all the crazy mistakes and sloppiness that they put on the field.
You're right, and I think that's one kind of strong optimist point you're looking at. The problem is they also didn't have T. Higgins. Their number 2 receiver yesterday was a person called Andre Iosivas. You ever? I mean,
No.
I don't know where. I don't know him. I feel like I know about college. I never heard of him. He's from Japan. I never heard of him.
Oh yeah.
You know, again, you not only didn't have your number 2 receiver, your first receiver was pissed off. You lose Mixon, and Bro didn't play well. I don't know what it is about the first 3 weeks. He just isn't good. And then, he's great the rest of the season. It's very weird.
Yeah, here's my take. Do you believe that Joe Burrow may just really be injured beyond what people think? Dr. Jesse Morse will be on tomorrow. I think he's injured. They taped his wrist yesterday. They've been saying his wrist is not fully recovered, but he's fully fluid with it. You can't have a bad wrist at a quarterback position. I'm just telling you, Smitty, it's not happening. I don't know what's going on there. The last few years, I'm just worried that we've seen another flame out by one of the guys that we thought was really, really good, who was on the way to winning multiple Super Bowls and beating Patrick Mahomes like he has 3 out of 4 times, and being the guy that can actually bring him off the throne, dethrone Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if we're there anymore. I think this is a bad look with the Bengals. It seems to go downhill the last few years, worse and worse and worse. And now they got issues in the wideout room. He's still one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. If we really want to break it down, now you lose Mixon, and I don't know how you recover from a guy that is a outlet for Burrow by getting the ball to Mixon, as you saw C.J. Stroud do yesterday with him.
I'll tell you another problem a lot of these teams have, and again, it's only game 1, but we're looking at what we see. Again, a lot of these box scores can't stop the run, right? New England ran all, and New England, they have a pretty good run back group, but they ran all over Cincinnati. You saw the Colts today. That was they should have won that. They should have won. They really should have. They played well. AR5 hit some big throws. Pierce was very good. They just couldn't get a stop.
Let me be honest.
The Chargers ran well. J.K. Dobbins looks like he's finally healthy now. So you're good point.
There's some really good defensive lines, and there's some real bad ones.
Let me be honest with you guys. We talk about all this shit about how the rules have changed for offenses to succeed. Quarterbacks can't be touched anymore. You can't reroute a wideout. Targeting calls are at all-time high. You instant replay everything. The game is catered for the offense. We changed the kickoff rules to get better field position, yet we had one return finally for a touchdown. The rest of them have been kicked out of the back of the end zone. And I'm trying to figure out why 17 quarterbacks still threw for under 200 yards. But nobody wants to address the damn elephant in the room. And why nobody can stop the run all of a sudden, Jeff, to your point. Yeah. Why? Because they're scared to hit the offensive player. They're going to get fined. They can't tackle. We don't tackle no more in practice. We wear helmet condoms. We don't do Oklahoma drills. We don't go through the process.
Well,
you can't tackle. Go ahead, Jeff.
I saw a viral tweet saying that Jalen Carter should face a strong, heavy fine for his tackle on Jordan Love that resulted in an injury. Did you watch that tackle?
Yeah, I saw that.
So what, should we ban tackling now?
I'm just telling you.
What is going on here?
I saw.
But that's just Twitter. Don't let them be the.
I don't know though, but some of these.
Jeff Smitty, I'm gonna be honest. I watched that Detroit game and I was really, really happy. It seemed like an old school football game to me. They were hitting. The white boy linebacker for Detroit was out there smacking. The white boy linebacker for the Rams was out there smacking. Both of them had the long hair. They were hitting all around to me. And I thought they hit the quarterback on time in the chest a couple times on both sides of the football. I saw a couple other guys get hit in the quarter. I saw Kyler Murray get smacked a few times. No flags.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, about time. But the first thing out of the announcer's mouths, wow, no flag? Wow, no flag? Why? Why are you saying it? You're pushing the narrative again. Let's get football to be great again. Why are you asking for a flag on a quarterback who's supposed to get hit, homie? He makes $200 million. Let's play football again. Let's put the fear of God in these motherfuckers. Because I'm be honest with you. The more quarterbacks get hit, the better the game will be because now they either have to shit or get off the pot. I got to see if this guy really is worth $200 million. Because when you pay a guy like $200 million in Deshaun Watson and you see him yesterday and he can't throw a fucking hits ball with people around his feet, there's a reason why I wouldn't pay the guy. But we don't want to do that. We want to rather pay you based on what we think you're worth. It's killing me, man. We've killed the game. I'm just telling you straight out. We've killed the game.
Yeah, I will say though, that Charger group, that group looks solid on both sides. Ran the ball effectively, were great defensively. Defensive line was fierce, getting to the quarterback. Now again, Raiders have quarterback questions, but they did what they wanted to do. They ran the football and they were good defensively. Herbert didn't need to do a ton, did enough. Easy, simple win.
It's a hardball team, hardball-led team.
Yep.
Exactly what we expected.
And be honest, dog, their wideout core is as pedestrian as you can be. But again, proving my point, why Cleveland has no plan with Deshaun Watson and why Colorado has no plan with Shedeur Sanders. It's very similar. If you take that and you go to a guy that just won the national title at Michigan, who ran the football 30 straight times on Penn State, and you take what he did yesterday against a great D-line with the Raiders and saw how they controlled. Max Crosby was everywhere. The Raiders' defensive line could not be blocked in the first half against the Chargers. And guess what Harbaugh did? He got into 22 personnel. He got into 12 personnel, and they started to extend the front, add a gap to the D-line, widen Max Crosby out so they could run inside. They ran play action for a big play. They got, the ball, the rookie from TCU finally made a couple plays. And you saw that a coach had a plan and executed it. You saw other guys not execute a plan or have zero plan. And it's clear as day. You can see it. It matters. This guy knows what he's doing. I think he's a top 5 football coach in the world.
Well, I think you're going to see Jameis Winston pretty soon in Cleveland. So
we talked about that earlier today, man. It's just tough because that is so much money that, 230 M's guaranteed. I'm with you. I think Jameis should get a shot at starting because he can't be any worse than what Jameis is doing, and at least the morale of the team would be up.
Can you afford to do that though? As you talk about the money all the time on this show, you talk about you're going to pay him, you got to pay him. Can you really do that? At this point,
business wise, you can't. Business wise, you can't. The football side of me is like, fuck all that. Put them in there. From a business standpoint, if you're a GM or you're the head coach, you can't do that. That you're going to get fired. That's what's going to happen.
By the way, I did want to go to absolutely the worst performance yesterday. And it's funny, as far as the show, I haven't heard much about this from Jason Brown. Daniel Jones and the Giants. Yikes.
That's not a true statement, though. Deshaun Watson was worse.
Yeah, I don't know. Daniel Dimes.
Now, look at the stats. Look at
up to 800 fans were waiting outside the stadium for him to come out. He was that bad.
Yeah, but let me ask you, Jeff, do you know who got sacked more than anybody yesterday?
Crazy stat right here.
Him. He got sacked more than
anybody. This is a crazy stat, JB, right here, though. You said it earlier.
When is it? When are we ever going to address it? Jeff and you and Jeff come on here and defend all these other shitty quarterbacks who
I don't defend who?
But,
who did
no.
Patrick Mahomes, bro.
No. But I want to be honest though. Just be fair and hear me out on this. Y'all will say that these other guys don't have wideouts, don't have O-line, don't have this, don't have that. But when it comes to this guy not having O-line and no wideouts, he doesn't get a pass.
You said he was gonna finally have help this year because they got fucking Malik neighbors. They got guys in the draft. So don't say he got help. He got help.
Jeff,
he couldn't give him the ball, and I told you that. I said you can have Malik neighbors, you can have Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, and fucking Jerry Rice. If they can't give him the ball,
are you gonna tell Jeff though how I led the show off though at least?
Yeah, he prayed. Like he owned it. JB owned it. He did a whole prayer for Daniel Jones. And
I said I'm gonna own it. If he's shitty, he's on. But listen, doesn't his contract look pretty good, Jeff? You're a businessman compared to Deshaun Watson's.
Well, yeah, and you did. I will say you did say yesterday on the show that Sam Darnold would be effective. Listen, you got to get rid of this obsession with Daniel Jones. It's rough, man.
Jeff. I got to keep one villain and one good guy. So I'm gonna keep a shitty good guy and a good shitty guy. I'm gonna do it with Mahomes and Daniel Dimes. I'm gonna keep those two going right now. The Chiefs queened them, and I'm gonna be honest. You guys watch that game, but let me transition real quick to one of your wheelhouses. This shitbird, and I say it all the time. Shitbirds are usually the best players on the team. Tyreek Hill got arrested already. The people in the chat and everybody else is defending him. The cop kicked him, and I don't know what he said. Let me ask you something. Somebody today came on and said to me, do you think Tom Brady would have his face in the ground and being handcuffed? Well, Tom Brady doesn't have 8 felonies and has not been arrested for beating his child and other things. So no, I don't think Tom Brady would be arrested and his face down. But Tom Brady also wouldn't be driving into the stadium on his own either, probably. But this kid did this and does shitbirds what they do. They're the best players. Nobody cares anymore, to Smitty's point, because he balled out. He got those touchdowns. Nobody gives a fuck. And Tyreek Hill then did the arrest celebration, which is just, I don't know. I wanted to get your take on this. And I don't know, Smitty, if we looked into it. I know his agent is. We don't know really why he was arrested. It had to be more than just
but this is I have to ask myself, where's the Miami Police Department, and why don't we know what's going on here yet? I don't.
They put the cop on suspension.
Yeah, well, listen,
we don't know. Apparently, he got a ticket for a moving violation. That's the only thing I've heard so far.
Listen,
that's it.
He's starting to remind me more and more of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson used to do shit like this all the time. He used to do dumb stuff. He used to come in drunk, but we knew every day at 7 p.m. at the Wells Fargo Center, he would drop 40, 50. This is what he does. You got to give the guy credit. He is a elite football player. But we have seen, I mean, this isn't the first time over the last 365 days he's been arrested for something. And we have to notice that certain guys, that just seems to happen to a lot, right? He's been arrested a lot. He's a bad guy. He's a low life. He's a scumbag. And if you were you or me, we'd be in jail for the stuff he did. It's just that simple. He's a bad guy. He's beat up his pregnant girlfriend, strangled her. He's been under investigation for breaking his own son's arm. You know, he's a bad guy. That said, I don't know what went on here. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I do find it funny that he's going to be the warrior for social justice all of a sudden now. He also made a comment yesterday that he wouldn't talk bad to a cop because his mother raised him better than that. Did his mother raise him and not beat women? What are we talking about? Is this guy this delusional? Seriously?
And I'm going to defend it before Smitty does. I'm going to also go on the other side because we threw under Scotty Scheffler and all that under the bus when he did it too, and for the Masters program. And Jeff and I brought this up yesterday with Sean Salisbury. We got to look into the whole thing because what if this cop's a shitbird as well? As we know, there's bad cops and good cops. We all know, and there's bad people and good people. Scotty Scheffler looks like the cop was way out of line with him. We'll see what happens here. He kicked. He did kick Tyreek Hill, so we're gonna see what comes out. But they suspended the cop. I did see the Miami release that they suspended the cop. I guess administrative leave, whatever that means, and we're gonna see what comes out. But it's curious to see the outcome of this one. I just, to me, it just needs to stop. Like I've never seen this type of shit happen right in front of the stadium. It was an embarrassing look. I got secondhand embarrassment because fans are walking by to go in the game, and this guy's on the street.
But let me ask you one thing. Let me ask you one thing. It always seems to happen to Tyreek Hill, though. You ever notice that? It's always
I say it all the time.
It's he's always hitting people at marinas, or he's being arrested outside of the stadium. There are how many players in the NFL yesterday that suited up? I mean, thousands.
200, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it always seems to happen to him, though. You know, it's always his fault.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it.
And I get it. It's like the boy who cried wolf, right? It's like when you show the history of doing bad things, no one's going to give you any benefit of doubt when maybe in this one situation, maybe he actually didn't do anything this time. And, you know what I'm saying? My only thing I would say is, again, we don't have all the details, but if it's just a moving violation, I just don't understand, one, why you getting handcuffed, period. Two, why you getting thrown on the ground, 3, 4 cops, 3, like that's the only, if it's just that. So we just need more facts. Remember we don't have the information.
There are two things here that are very odd. First of all, they detained him. You can see they detained him. They probably just wanted to sit him next to the car, whatever. He probably was spouting up, doing what he's, you know. And look, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I get pulled over, I do the same stuff. Okay. At the end of the day, though, there's a reason we haven't seen the body cam, and it's been over 24 hours, and we haven't yet. They're doctoring it. They're editing it. It probably doesn't look good for the Miami Police Department. So yeah, again, we'll see.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. I'm interested to see this whole thing fold up, but it's just crazy. Speaking of that Miami game, though, he came out and had those 2 plays. What is your takeaway with another high-paid quarterback in Tua and another high-paid quarterback in Trevor Lawrence?
You go ahead, Jeff.
No, you go ahead, Smitty. You're good.
So let me start with Trevor Lawrence, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Trevor Lawrence, they can't finish games. That's what I've learned in the last season and a half or whatever. They look so good for a half of a game, maybe even 3/4 of a game, But for whatever reason, the Jacksonville Jaguars can't finish. They can't sustain greatness for an entire 4 quarters of a game. And that's what you should. If you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, if there's anybody in this chat who supports the Jaguars, don't expect to do anything big or important. You'll be an average to above average team in the regular season. You'll make a wild card here and there, and then you'll be eliminated in the first round of the playoffs if you make the playoffs, because your team cannot. They don't show up in big moments. They don't show up against a big time opponent, and they get overly excited. It feels like when they're up. I don't know what it is. It's like they don't know how to put the foot on the neck and finish the damn job. They did the same thing last year. Started the season off, 8-3, and they end up missing the playoffs last year, and the Texans ended up taking over and winning the AFC South. That's crazy. There's no excuse for that, and they're showing the same energy right here in this game. They should have won this game. There's no way in hell. The way the game was going, Miami should have not have won this. They let them come back in the game and get the W. That's what I saw from Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. On the flip side, Tua was Tua. Tua was pretty, Tua he ran the offense well. Like, that's what Tua's going to do. Tua's not going to be a guy who's going to go out there and just fucking light it up and just be the best quarterback in the world. He's a guy who he could run. He's well in his system. He's Brock Purdy-esque, in my opinion. He does well within the system of the Miami Dolphins offense. He found his playmakers, and that's what he did. And I don't expect anything less or more from Tua.
I will say one thing, because I know we got Weddle coming up. The most pathetic performance yesterday, and I know a lot of teams didn't play well. How the fuck did the Tennessee Titans lose?
Man.
I mean, this is a group.
Try to tell, baby.
Chicago had 64 passing yards and 84 rushing yards. They had 2.8 yards of play, and they were down, 17-3 at one point?
Yeah.
I mean, how does that happen if you're Tennessee? Listen, I wanted to give Will Levis the benefit of the doubt. I thought, you know what? It's one game. I'll give him a shot. Maybe he's the guy there. I like that team. Outside of him, it's a shame.
Will Levis, I'm just glad we didn't draft him, man. I know a lot of people on this show, not Coach JB, but other people who work on this show, thought Will Levis was such a great quarterback and was going to be better than the quarterback that we got. And he just showed that that last play just showed you.
Hey, Jeff, as you leave here today, and we'll see you Friday, I got to get your take, though. Colorado, Nebraska. What is your takeaway from Colorado, Nebraska, and what do you expect going forward for both teams?
I mean, we've seen time and time again, Deion Sanders is not a good coach. I just don't know how to swing it. I don't know how to say it. You people keep making excuses for this dude. Let me ask you, what was the one glaring problem they had? Offensive line issues, right? That was a problem last year. We still haven't fixed that. We have our quarterback, our big-time Heisman candidate, walking off the field early, throwing people under the bus. My man, you can't say stuff like you said. This is pathetic here. But this is what the Sanders family does. It's always about them. Everything they do. It's like calling yourself Prime and not Coach Sanders. It's the obsession with themselves. I've got to be the center of attention all the time. The same shit over and over. Yes, you people, you Colorado fans are delusional fucking idiots. All of you. And it's laughable and fun to watch this shit happen. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Don't forget this. Last year, they beat the Colorado State Rams by 8 points. Rams had 3 or 4 turnovers. Colorado had a pick 6. They returned for a touchdown. I don't know if that stuff's going to happen again. You better wake up. This game is in Fort Collins. Tough game. Yeah, Deion Sanders is a clown. They're a clown program. We all know it.
Well, listen.
Hey, Jeff, been a pleasure. You know,
It's been a pleasure.
Hey, it's E-Dub Monday. Jeff, I appreciate you changing your time to come on because Weddle has practice and he had to come on after. And then we'll see you Friday and as much as you can. But Sunday, make sure you follow Jeff and I on the Realest NFL pregame show on Planet Earth with Shaun, Salisbury, and I.
And also, just one final thing for the Colorado fans. The truth hurts. Sorry.
It does, Jeff. It does. Go follow Jeff on the Sit Down Crime Pod and take us off, Bailey, and let's give our man the proper introduction that he deserves. It's E-Dub.
Yeah. I'm in my mode, ready to transform you into I hate a storm, Hail Marys, I make it pour. Good, I ain't lying, you little giants, we been defiant. Rise, What's the cost to be the boss? Breaking down the walls. We all in once the coin gets tossed. Got the kind of action, never acting. No need to scramble to get traction. We make it happen. From 3-4s to 4-3s, we get it cracking.
What up?
What up?
We back. We're back, boys. We're back.
What's going on, man? I ain't seen E Weddle in 2 years.
I'm white and Smitty's black. Hey,
Weddle mix.
Hey, E-Dub, we got a lot to discuss, dog. We're going to come right out the gate. First of all, how's your high school season going? You started off 2-0. How's that going? And shout out to all them youngsters out there. You got them playing hard.
Yeah, man, we're 3-0. One last Friday, we're down 17-14 and a half, and the lack of energy, we lacked it all week. So I'm at to get some tidbits on why I couldn't get my guys ready to play when I needed them to, but made some adjustments and the boys came back. We won 37-17 on the road.
That's a hell of a shot.
3-0. We got a tough game, big game this Friday at home against La Jolla. They're ranked top 10 in San Diego, so excited for the.
You play Friday night at home?
Friday night, yep, at our place.
I might have to show
You
up.
ain't gonna drive out.
Come on through,
You ain't driving out, Dave. He lied to you, I don't believe it.
I've been to a game. Have you?
He came through last week or last year. He came through.
I've been to some games. Have you?
I never got the invite, so.
You don't get an invite. DPS. Hey, Weddle, we got to get right out the gate. First of all, your thoughts on Colorado and Nebraska being a huge game over the weekend. That's going to be discussion. It's on the thumbnail. Nebraska, Matt Rule looked like superior program in my estimation. Colorado looked like some mercenaries out there throwing the ball around 7-on-7. That's just my take. What are your takeaways from this big game that was on the slate that was probably the most watched game of the weekend?
Yeah, it's just I think it's the reality of where Colorado is right now. They're just not good enough as a team to play that style of football, which is can't get down early. They have uber talented guys. Like they got first round guys on that roster. So it's not the talent. It's just you can't just air it out every single play and expect Shedeur to be perfect. You're asking him to be perfect to win games, and you're going against do I think Nebraska's a really top-notch team? No. Do I think they're a good, solid team that's on the come? Yeah, but they ran the football. They played great defense. They're coached up well, and it's just going to be a tough challenge when you go against programs that in all three phases are going to be solid, and it doesn't mean that they have to be great. So I think they're an average football team. And they'll probably win 5 or 6 games. They're not going to be anything other than an average team because of the shortcomings of their team. They can't run the football. At times, they can't stop the run. And you get down, you're asking too much of Shedeur to try to bring them back when you can't run the football.
Yeah, I agree.
100%, man. Let's move on. Let's talk about your squad, though, man. Utah, man, out here balling out right now. Got a big win against Baylor. They're ranked number 12 in the nation right now. Starting the season 2-0. Are you liking what you're seeing so far early in the season? What are your thoughts on how the team's looking overall?
Yeah, I think the Big 12 we're the top dog there from top to bottom. Now, when Cam Rising goes out, we become an inept team offensively. We were up 23-0 when he went out, and it reminded me of last year where we couldn't get a first down. And then there were moments in that game where Baylor was coming back, and I'm like, are we really going to lose this game because Cam's not? So luckily, it was just a laceration on his throwing hand. He couldn't take snaps, so he'll be back. And honestly, we play our game, we should be favored in every game. And we may have a hiccup or two, but there's no reason why we shouldn't win the conference and host a playoff game, which I will be at in January. So we'll see.
Hey, let me ask you, were you worried watching that game? Similar in fashion, I looked at Nebraska the same way. The second half, they don't score a point. I thought Matt Rule should be pissed. I would be pissed at my team today. Nebraska looked mediocre at best in that second half. To me, they didn't put their foot on their neck. I think it's a cultural thing nowadays because of the landscape of college football with so many mercenaries, so many free agents, so many bag chasers. I don't think you can really instill that in your team anymore unless you're really there 3 or 4 years with the same recruits, the same old school style of mentality. I just see it all over college football. I saw it in Utah. I saw it in Nebraska. I saw it with Syracuse, Georgia Tech. I saw it in all these games that you jump out early and then you just don't have that killer instinct anymore. Do you see it in high school too?
Well, I think it was two different factors. I think Nebraska was holding on to the win and didn't want to lose it with a freshman quarterback. They said, hey, let's just run the ball, play great defense. There's no way they're going to score 4 touchdowns against us in the second half. So, you could say that's learning how to win. That's growing a program. It's growing the identity of your football program. For the Utes, we didn't have a quarterback. So we were running the ball because Isaac Wilson's a true freshman. He played two quarters the week before and looked like a true freshman. So you're going to hang your hat on defense. If Can's in there, I bet we put up 45 points and we blow them out. So when you're thinking about the landscape, and I talked about this all offseason with my program and my team, we have to play the game how it's supposed to be played. We have to block a certain way. We have to tackle a certain way. We have to have the mental and physical toughness to play this game. And that's been our focus since January to every day. We are playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. And that's how you win football games. You don't win 7-on-7. You don't win playing finesse football. You play physical and tough. And when the best teams that usually win are the ones that control the trenches, offensive defensive line, and the ones that block and tackle the best. Not the most skilled, not the most explosive, the ones that tackle and block the best.
Yeah, I agree. I got to ask you, the NFL weekend started, game 1. We watched Matthew Stafford. We were texting last night. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp looked about as good as you can on a week 1. Nakua goes down. Rams are struggling up front, offensive line-wise. They're down to their backup tackles already and guard. Had to move a guy to center, had to move a guy to guard. Where are you at with that Ram team? I thought that was promising a play against a team that a lot of people are picking to go to a Super Bowl in Detroit. I think the Rams are just right. Are they right there? I was surprised by their D-line play. I thought they were better than people thought. The Verse kid or whatever, the high draft pick they got.
Verse, I believe, yeah.
Verse, and then they got a few kids, man. They got a few kids. Young is legit. I think he had 8 sacks last year as a rookie. This year he came in already. Too. Great kid. I know you've been at practice quite a bit and seeing this thing go. What's your takeaway from the Rams? And optimistically speaking, Matthew Stafford stays upright. Nakua doesn't get – if he's back and we're okay with him, they got a good young freshman or rookie wideout, Patterson, I believe his name is. I like him a lot. And I just think they got to get Kyron Williams going. Yeah, I think they got to get him going a little more and not throw the ball 45 times. But when you have Matthew Stafford, I guess you can't not throwing the ball 45 times. So what's your takeaway from that game?
Well, man, talk about an insane effort on the road with a battered team. You're losing guys left and right. You go in without your starting tackles, and then more guys go down. So I hope people appreciate what you witness at the position, with Stafford. And gosh, the amount of times he was getting hit. And I'm not trying to compare the athleticism and the game has changed, but when you're just talking about some of those throws and Shaun dialing up like the motions and the exit motions and return motions, just all setting up things throughout the game and the chess game, and then you get down there and then you got to have it and you run that return motion with Kupp and the guy trips and just hesitates and you got a wide open touchdown. Like the intricacies of football at the highest level on stage for everyone to see was incredible, and the toughness. But then you look at other plays and QB play throughout the NFL, and it's just baffles me. Like, you talk about the Titans. I know you guys got into that, but that's just like the forefront of mind. Or that game is inexcusable how you lose that game with what happened and how that defense played for the Titans. And you're over there tricking the game off if you're Will Levis. But it goes back to the fundamentals. And Kurt Warner, I read his tweet this morning or last night, and he brought the best point, and Coach JB could expand on this because he would have better knowledge and understanding. He said that when you don't learn the quarterback position under center and understand the timing and footwork that coincides with routes, your mental makeup and timing, you're always off if you're starting the gun, if that makes sense. And I sat back and I thought, it's 100% true. It's 100% true. And you're looking at all these guys from a gun, from Pop Warner all the way through high school to college to the NFL. They're not really taught the fundamentals and the timing of when the ball needs to be out, when that back foot hits, for what you're seeing on the defensive side. So I don't know, Coach JB can expand if he wants to, or we can move on. But I just thought, Rams got a chance. They got to get through these first few weeks and try to get some guys healthy. Because if not, I don't know if they can come back from it. Because they're as good as anyone when they're healthy.
I think you made a great point, because if you go to a Mike Tomlin-led team that wants to be under center and be physical on offense because the style of defense they play, you look at Justin Fields being forced to go under center, he looked horrific. That's not what he does. See what I'm saying? You're forcing a square peg into a round hole, and we're seeing that. You saw it with Lamar Jackson under center, which is our next point. What's your takeaway from Lamar and the Ravens week 1 against the Chiefs on Thursday night? And what do you? Is it the same Lamar? I mean, I did not like I did not like the continuity of the offense because I don't.
I watched all the shows, so you don't need to expand on that. So, how
do you mesh Derrick Henry with them? I mean, that's
you can still run the zone reads with them and stuff like that. You got to do it in 3rd and 2, so he just falls forward first down. You still have the ability to pull it with Lamar. Listen, Lamar is Lamar, and Lamar is one of one, right? And we need to stop trying to make him into something he's not. He's gonna do what he does, which is run around crazy and extend plays and look at the rush, because whether he needs to or not, and make incredible plays and extend the plays, and he's gonna rush for. He's just so unbelievable at times. But that same way he plays will catch up to you when you just need to throw it on time and when the defense is called for it. And I've said it for years. That style of play can only take him so far when he needs to get the ball out, when the defense is running a certain pressure and the coverage, you got to get it out on time. But, you can't deny what he's doing for his team and how he's playing. I think the Ravens are one of the best teams in the NFL. Yeah. I think to be on the road and finding their way, they are going to be a team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl and get to a Super Bowl. Now, if it happens, a lot of factors have to have go your way, as we know, to try to even get to the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I'd be more worried about him lasting 17 games, how much he ran the ball and the design runs.
Let me transition to the other side, your side of the ball. And both sides obviously well. You have to know how to beat a defense when you play defense, just like I know defense because I had to learn how to beat it calling offense. Right. And that's what happens when you're a coach and a player. Let me ask you, though, the loss of Patrick Queen to me was glaring the other night, because now I'm seeing Roquan Smith go from both ashes to the sideline where it used to be one ash. I think
1,000%. That other guy was a liability, should have been pulled out. I mean,
where you at with their defense? Because you just said you still think they're one of the better teams. I see a big drop off with that team. I see a big drop.
Well, yeah, I mean it's Coach Orr, Zach. I mean he was my running mate my first year there, second team All Pro. He played the weak side linebacker a lot like Patrick Queen, and I was a free safety, so him and I were tag teaming it out there, and I think he's finding his way. It's his first time calling defense, or first time calling plays. I felt, it's just me, as an ex-Raven, we didn't pressure enough. We didn't bring we were a little too much coverage, a little too much four-man rush, where we take it to the offense. We make offenses fear us, and I just felt like we were a little on the other side of it. Now it's the Chiefs. It's a lot of different factors that go into it, but you're putting guys in coverage where they shouldn't be covering guys, and it got us exposed a little bit at certain positions. But I feel like as he goes throughout the season. Ravens are going to be one of the top defenses. That's who they are. And he's going to find his niche on what he wants to do. He's a smart coordinator. We'll be fine as a defense. I felt like in that first game, I felt we could have pressured more because that's who we are.
Yeah, for sure, man. And to the Ravens, again, it's week 1, and listen, the Browns lost. The
Browns are terrible.
The Steelers lost. And the Bengals lost. The Steelers won, but the Bengals lost, the Browns lost. So my point is, the AFC North, they didn't do well in week 1 outside of the Steelers getting a weird kind of nasty win there. So the Ravens will still be, moving forward in prime position to win that AFC North, in my opinion. So
1,000%. That division, you got 2 teams with no quarterback and 1 team who's going to take a month to get going. So they'll probably be 1-3 with the Bengals. And then the Ravens are going to win 11, 12 games. So I'm not even worried.
Year in and year out. So that's what it is. Eduardo, listen, I gotta get up out of here.
You gotta get out of here.
I gotta get a little early. I got like 3 jobs right now. I gotta pay the bills. But Eduardo, I'm excited to have you back on. It's excited to see you here on the show. Please cook JB the rest of the show. Do not leave here without bringing up Daniel Jones, please, for me, Weddle.
Oh my God,
bring him up for me. But I'm gonna go, Weddle. I love you, man. I appreciate you, my guy. And I'm
you got it, bro. Good to see you, man.
Hey, Edel, I want to transition real quick to your Chargers. What you saw from Harbaugh and those boys last night, sticking to his guns, tight game in the first quarter, kind of a black and blue game. You got Minshew on one side, a new Herbert ran offense with Greg Roman on the other, with Harbaugh's instilling the run game. Joe Alt did pretty well when he was matched up for Max Crosby. I thought the Raiders D-line dominated early. They're just a bunch of wild men up there with Max Crosby, and then I think Harbaugh slowed the game down by saying, all right, I'll go back to my Michigan ways and run the football at you, and slowing down that front. What's your biggest takeaway from that already, Harbaugh getting it done in the division?
Coaching matters. Coaching matters. And again, there's levels to this. And
he's top 5 in the world.
Yeah, you could go. I mean, man, it's a whole identity change. It's a culture change. It's a program change. And you got a guy that came in there in 6 months that this team believes that they can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And nobody other than the head coach and the surrounding coaches and the vision. And when you're preaching the same vision, the same mindset, the same goals, the same we not me type attitude, that it resonates through the entire building. And they believe. And it's awesome to see as a fan and just a guy that appreciates good football and good coaching. And on the flip side, it's the Raiders being the Raiders. Like, I just don't get how you can field a team with Minshew at quarterback and how you looked at it.
I'd have went with O'Connell. I'd have went the younger guy.
Yeah, but even then, he got beat out by Minshew. Like, he's not the guy. So how are you even? It's just like it's.
You're the Raiders, E-Dub. You're the Raiders, right?
To me.
You're not like Carolina.
I mean, so that's what. And then you're Antonio Pierce. Yeah, I'm sure the guys love you, and I'm sure your voice resonates. But it still comes down to game management and how you don't go for it on 4th and 1 on the plus side with the game on the men's is you'll live and you learn as you grow. We all make mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes on Friday night that I learn and grow from. So I'm not saying that, but there's levels to coaching, and right there, I think that's why the Chargers won was coaching.
Yeah. Before we do some hell yeah, hell no, and get you out of here on your first E-Dub Monday, I got to go back to the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow and not having. We talked privately, not having Jamar Chase, and Smitty and I arguing about this player empowerment-led era. I had Chase Sr. on the show who knows about contract negotiations. Jamar Chase is on 2 more. He has 2 more years. Usually you see this.
I'm with you.
So break it down as far as what you see by this, and how much did it affect yesterday's game?
Well, it's the thing is that people I go on 2 caps, right? I'll put on my player cap, and I'm like, yeah, man, he got paid. Hell yeah, like this awesome. Then I put on my owner's management hat, which maybe I want to do someday. And I'm not paying a guy until he's getting ready for his contract year. If he is what I want, if he checks all the boxes of, is he you got to remember, if you're not paying top dollar for a guy that's the extension of you as your head coach and the leader of your team, in most cases, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So Jamar Chase is going into his 4th year. He still has, they exercise his 5th year option. So to Smitty's case, that's a 5-year deal, buddy. It's not a 4-year first round picks. In most cases, it's a 5-year deal because they exercise that. If you suck, then they don't exercise the 5th year option. So it's never the case for good players. So you have your 4th year, you have your 5th year, then you have the franchise tag. So they have you for 3 years. And in my case, if we're not willing to meet in the middle, because listen, I'm going to fork out a bunch of money for you. Can you meet me because you want to be here and you want to be part of what we're doing here, the culture, this and that? If not, I'm going to hold on to you. And then I'll trade you and just draft another wide receiver, because these dudes are coming in out the gate, making plays and being great. So I don't understand how a lot of these guys, like I do. So I'm on the flip side. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here. I want these guys to get paid, and I think he's earned it. But on the flip side, you don't have any leverage. You're under contract for 2 years plus a franchise. So that's 3 years. If anything, you do it like, who's the corner that got paid? Jalen? You do it like him. You say, hey, I'm going to show up to everything. I'm going to be a great teammate. I'm going to be a great leader. And I'm going to go out and be great and ball. Or Dak, hey, I'm not going to make any excuses. This is part of the business. I know what I'm going to control, what I can control. And what I can control is be the best quarterback I could be for the Dallas Cowboys. And then whatever happens, happens. And then, well, those guys get paid. When you put up a stink about it all, it just very rarely works out for both sides, because you're not meeting in the middle. It's about meeting in the middle.
Hey, you're one of Jalen Ramsey's mentors. You think highly as hell of him and his cerebral IQ and everything that he brings to the game. He just signed for more money than any corner, I believe, in American history and NFL history over his career. I think he's been paid more money than anybody. Patrick Surtain Jr., who I think you like as well, I think he's great as well. Of course. Yeah. Signed the day before he signed the highest deal, and then Jalen Ramsey. What do you think about Jalen signing that deal, even though that's your boy and he looks up to you and you've taught him some things? Did he get more money than you expected at his age?
Oh, for sure. I'd have to see the details. I think maybe it's like maybe the next – I think he had 2 years left. I could be totally wrong, but from what I quickly read, 2 years, so it was 3 years, an extension. And I think it's like basically he got like the next 2 years guaranteed, and then they spread it out. So it's kind of taking care of a guy that's a leader on your team who does everything right. He's on the latter half of his career, and you still feel like he has a year or two that's top notch. So you're going to pay him for it, and then I wouldn't be surprised in 2-3 years that he may be let go, because that's just the reality of it. So. Do I look at the compare the two? Surtain is younger. He's got more upside. Definitely more bang for your buck. But hey, if a team is willing to give you an extension at that amount of money, you're going to take it. Obviously, I talked to Jalen. I don't even think he was really pressing for a new deal. So, it's pretty wild. The amount of money these guys are getting, you do things right. As the older you get, I think Jalen would attest to this. And most guys, you set yourself up for the way you represent the organization, the standard you set. Teams value that. Certain teams value that and will pay more for it to keep the culture, to keep the identity, to keep the standard, in a sense that you can help mold those younger guys over the last years of your playing days. And some teams don't, and you wonder why some organizations are top notch and others aren't.
Sauce Gardner will probably be out of this world
for sure.
when he signed next.
Yeah.
They play tonight. E-Dub, where are you at with this game, this matchup? Aaron Rodgers healthy, a loaded defense on both sides. Everybody's back for the Niners after all those Ayuk negotiations and Trent Williams. And I don't know.
Did you hear? I don't know how true it is, but they were basically getting ready to trade Ayuk the day he's walking into the building, and then Kyle Shanahan's running to the what's his name? The GM.
Lynch.
Yeah, and saying, wait, we gotta figure this out. So
I mean, it's crazy. I don't know.
Wow.
Before you answer Monday night game, before we end with hell yeah, hell no with you, before the Monday night game question, let me ask you something. What is your takeaway with Dak Prescott signing on game day, and how big of I'm not gonna say a slap in the face, but how much do you think it affected Jamar Chase by saying, "Oh, they signed this guy on game day, but they don't want to sign me on game day"?
For sure.
Is that something the psyche wears on your psyche?
I think it puts it in the back of your mind, like, why can't my organization work with me? And again, we don't know those conversations. We don't know what he's asking for. We don't know what they're willing to do. So, and in Dak's case, Dallas usually always figures it out. And Jerry does have a point when he says, like, I've been around the block a few times. I've done more deals than anybody else. So you have to respect him in that case. If they're a top guy in your organization, he's not going to let you go. And he's going to pay top dollar for you. And in Dak's case, yes, his shortcomings in the playoffs. But on the flip side, he wins you football games. He epitomizes what you want as a quarterback on the work ethic, the leadership, how he acts on and off the field. And yes, he does have some shortcomings, but on the flip side, he gives you a chance. And that's willing. I'm willing to. Now, would I pay $60 million? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay that much for anyone. But that's where the money's going. And so we'll see. The Jets-Niners tonight. All I could say for Niners fans out there that this is it. This is your year. I love that they're paying everybody. I love that they're paying their homegrown guys. That's about building the team within, and it shows that you're going to pay your guys if you play at a high level. But once this year's done and you got to play Purdy, you're going to have to start chopping half your roster.
Yeah.
Because Purdy's going to play well, and he's earned it. Being this is going to be his third year. He's a system quarterback. It doesn't matter. They're all system quarterbacks at the end of the day. Can you play at a high level? Can you process? Can you dissect what the defense is doing, get the ball out, and execute what you need to do? So I'm hoping for a great game. It's at the Niners, I think.
Yeah, here.
So I would love to see the Jets pull it off somehow, and Aaron Rodgers play great. It's going to be a tall task for both teams. Both are going against great defenses. I think the Niners will be a little more on the rusty side just because of the dynamics of Williams and Ayuk not being in there full time and McCaffrey not practicing. So what are we really going to get? So I'm leaning towards the Niners or the Jets in this game, and I think A-Rod has a big game against them.
Hey, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Josh Allen came back from being down yesterday against
crazy. What a game that was.
What a game. He's doing – I said he has to do some things that Patrick Mahomes did last year with less talent on the edge at wideout and have to be Superman. I don't know how long he can do it and last, but it was addition by subtraction. I think he's better without Diggs. I said it 6 months ago. And then Diggs goes and catches 2 touchdowns for Houston. So it worked for both parties in this case. I'm willing to see how this plays out, but Buffalo has some glaring holes in defense, and I don't know how many weapons. They didn't get the ball to the tight end very often early.
It had one catch. I
thought that was
odd.
Yeah, I thought that is Josh Allen an MVP candidate? That's going to be our hell yeah, hell no. Let's start with hell yeah, hell no, Bailey, right out the gate. Is Josh Allen the favorite to win the MVP? Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell yeah. I had to think was there anyone standing out? And then for him, 18 to 23, 230, 2 touchdowns, rush for another 2 touchdowns. And I also want to give a shout out to Kyler Murray. He played well.
First half.
And that team's gonna be better. I was impressed on the road to play that way.
Yeah, no doubt. Hell yeah, hell nah. Colorado, E-Dub, will win 5 or more games.
I think they will. Hell
Really?
yeah.
Ooh.
5's a low number. I think they can win 5 games.
I'm looking at their schedule. I just don't see many wins. they better win. They better be.
They gotta win Colorado State. That's definitely one of the ones. And I think
if they don't win this weekend, I could see them not winning another game because you know how shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
So they better win this week. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna say hell nah. Hell yeah, hell nah. Hell yeah, hell nah. This is a very interesting one. Michael Penix will start for the Falcons
this season.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was a bad performance by Kirk Cousins.
I mean, let's give him some. Let's give him. I think by the bye week, whatever the bye game, whatever the amount of games is, that gives me enough time as an organization to see if this is a failed experiment or if he can figure it out. Because most times those veteran top quarterbacks will figure it out. He's coming off a major surgery. So.
Hey, and that's your guy as the head coach over there now. And I like him a lot. I think he's going to do great things there. We're going to all look back and say, wait, is that the draft of the year? When everyone criticized it, now it could be one of the best picks in the draft when they got Penix to save the day at the end of the day. I think Atlanta's still good enough to win the South, them in Tampa Bay, after you saw yesterday's performance by Baker. But going to be interesting to see.
Of those quarterbacks that drafted, you could probably say Jaden looked the most comfortable and didn't look too big for him and protected the football. Caleb didn't turn it over, but he looked
bad. Let's say bad. Hell yeah, hell no. Go ahead and give it to me. Daniel Jones and the New York Giants will win 6 or more games.
Gosh, they were so bad. What happened?
Why wear those jerseys, though, to start it off?
Oh,
I don't.
Gosh.
That right there is an despicable ball. Look at his feet, his platform. He's not selling. That's a horrible ball. That's a touchdown
all day, every day.
He's too good of a ball spinner too to throw that. I'm just lacking confidence.
6 games. 6 games. If they don't win 6 games, Dayball's fired. So
yeah, no doubt.
Man, are they that bad? Who'd they play?
Minnesota.
I'm gonna say hell yeah. They're not winning 6 games. I'm sorry.
Really? They're not winning. You don't think they're gonna win 6?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Minnesota's not even that good, JB.
I know. He threw a ball to the damn.
How do you come out at home and that's the performance you put in? That doesn't give me any hope. I mean, I'm sorry, but I didn't know Michigan was playing. Red Michigan. Hey, let's hope they could. Man, it's hard. It's hard to watch him walking out of that stadium and people yelling at him and criticizing them and just, man, that's tough. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you got to play better. That comes with the territory, but at the end of the day, it sucks, man. You don't want to. I don't like seeing guys go through that. Like, he tries his best. It's not like he's not trying to be good. It's just he's just not very good right now, and you gotta take that. Two
more EW to end it tonight. The first one I have for you though, and you might be a GM in this league, and you aspire to be one. Maybe hire me, maybe, and I'll
no doubt we'll be in there.
I'll be personnel guy. I'll be on the road evaluating talent. Hell yeah, hell no. Jameis Winston will start.
Yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yes. It should be right now. It should have been 2 years ago.
But you're gonna. So my point is, you aspire to be a GM. You know the ins and outs. You work in this business with.
Well, first of all, I would have never even had been on the table with Watson. First of all,
but can you do it though?
Yes.
You can lose that money.
You do it for the betterment of the team. He's not.
So you got to eat crow.
Win games.
You got to eat crow and say we screwed up and sign this guy for $200 million.
I effed up. Bad decision, and it may cost him my job, but he's awful.
I know.
He's awful. So get another guy in there. It's the same thing with what's his name last year with Zach Wilson. He's just not good enough to play the Jets. Give the next guy a chance. You cut bait. We drafted the wrong guy. We signed the wrong guy. It happens all the time. You sign guys in the offseason as free agents. Sometimes they work out great. Most times they don't. So at least you can stay faced with your organization, with your team, the players, the coaches saying, hey, we were wrong. This guy's not good. He hasn't been good in years. So why do we keep giving? Just because he's guaranteed money, get rid of him.
Yeah. All right. Hell yeah, hell nah. Appreciate you coming on. It's E-Dub Mondays. Get ready for it every single week. Hell yeah, hell nah. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will get the win tonight in Candlestick or Frisco.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think coming back home, ironically, maybe the team that should have drafted him back in the day, you could say that, how their careers ended up. Alex still had a great career, but, obviously the Niners would have liked to have A-Rod. But I think coming back is a big moment for him. He's probably going to be nervous being on that field, and I hope he plays well. I hope for a great game. I want to see good football on both sides. I don't want to see a bunch of hogwash out there. I want to see good football back and forth, good offense, good defense, great plays, good scheme, countering, everything in between.
Yeah, I would love it to be a Rams Detroit game last night. It would be great.
Yeah, it was a great game, back and forth.
Yeah, we can get another game like that because most games I watched over the weekend were bad. So, E-Dub, good luck this week. I'll be there Friday. Let's go. I'm gonna come down there for that game against a good opponent in La Jolla and see that game. I got to come down there, and then we gotta get on my boat. I'm gonna say yacht. Get on my yacht.
Yeah.
I might smash down San Diego down the coast.
Yeah, come on down. I just want you to know I'm a man of my word, representing my guy down here. Bucks, babies, and borders.
Woo! Bucks, babies, and borders. Urlacher got one. The Pouncey twins got one. Urlacher got one.
Yeah. Hey, when that popped up, I ordered one ASAP. So. Hey, support my guy. And if you can't support babies, borders, and your money, and we just don't think alike.
And you're right there on the border, and you see it firsthand.
Yes.
So shit.
Yes,
shout out to E-Dub. Good luck this week. I'll see you Friday, and I'll see you next week.
You got it, brother.
Shout out. Peace. Great show today, man. One of our biggest ever. Shout out to everybody in the chat, even Stilly the boss's bitch ass, for being in here every day talking shit, but he's still here because you a bitch. Babies, borders, and bucks. Yes, sir. Maybe we can get rid of these motherfuckers eating cats and dogs in our country. And remember something, I'll end the show on this. When you bring the third world here, you get a third world here. Just so we're clear. I should be a motherfucking rhymer. We brought the third world into this motherfucker, and it's turning into the third world. Look at what's happening out here, people. Open your fucking eyes. It's the Real Coach AB. We'll be back tomorrow for Talk That Talk Tuesday with Dr. Jesse Morse, Steve Kim. And don't forget to watch Jason Whitlock's show with me. I'll be on in about an hour on the Whitlock show, and I'll be on Friday on the Whitlock show. Every single week, I'll be on the Whitlock show. So tune into that as well. It's going to be litty. It's going to be litty. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Appreciate all you guys, haters and all. Because love my haters. You're my biggest fans. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast, you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.